And we're live.
I can take it to my email.
More persons are probably on tonight because like everybody's at home.
Hi, Maxine.
Hi, Maxine.
Good evening.
Hamroy Francis. Good evening. Hi, Janice.
Hi, everybody. We're going to spend this evening together, even though we're on what? No movement day?
Yeah.
No movement day.
Hi, Shanti. I'm interested in one of the Westmoreland move-in board houses.
You can give it a number for the person who handles that. That would be...
Hi, Amanda. Claudette Davidson.
So I'm Claudia Davis, and she's Claudette Davidson. And her number, you want to put it in the chat?
Sure.
Her number is 876-864.
One moment.
The board. B-O-E.
Oh.
Her number is Claudette Davidson, and her number is 876-864-8940. Dr. D says, hi, folks and fellow students. Hi, Dr. D. So we're spending this evening together, even though we're on no movement day. So I'm really only just all day been looking through my window and being happy that I have a window to look through, right?
Maxine says, Claudia, make sure you stock up on food since you guys can't go anywhere.
Stock up on food? No way.
We don't really need to stock up on food because they have delivery going on.
We have deliveries. We have you call them, the sectors that are open are health, education, banking and finance, deliveries. What else? That was 5. So it's education, health, banking and finance, deliveries, and something else. So basically, we don't need to stock up on food, and we hardly use what do you call that food? Processed food.
Mm-hmm.
Processed food is what mostly you would stock up on. Remember, if you're eating fruits and vegetables, you can't stock up because the thing is gonna spoil, man. Like right now, I've noticed I'm out of ripe bananas. So come Wednesday, we're definitely gonna get more of that. Because normally we would have replaced it tomorrow or today, but we couldn't go to the supermarket or even to the market today. So we really can't stock up on food like that. I noticed Tony stock up on some roast breadfruit. So those of you who don't live in Jamaica they roast the breadfruit for us already. It's on the roadside, right? Mm-hmm. So it's roasted, and we can buy roast breadfruit anywhere from $200 up to $500, or as you say, overseas $1, or $1 is like $150, $2 is like $300. So we can buy roast breadfruit on the road, all right, for pick a bit of money. We can buy avocado pears and those things. So I was able to get avocado pears and don't ripe yet, though, for $100 on the roads. Everywhere you're driving in Jamaica, anywhere, any major road, town, anything like that.
Renee says you should freeze your vegetables and fruits.
No, I don't want to.
I don't like freezing my vegetables. Yeah. They come out soggy, man.
Soggy, man. I don't want to do that. I live in a country where those things are in abundance. So we don't need to hoard anything. Certainly don't need to freeze anything. For the most part, they throw those things away here. If you go to the market on a Saturday about 12 midnight, the higglers are throwing them away because they're not taking them home.
There's no point.
There's no point in taking them home.
And they can't eat all of it anyway.
No. So they throw away those things here, especially the fruits, you know? Apples, mangoes, all those things. What's the only oranges that also them throw?
Maxine says, I paid £10 for a small breadfruit. £10?
How much is £10? £10.
That's not enough money, man.
That's not enough money. 10 times 200, that's $2,000. Yeah, Maxine. Wow. You have roast breadfruit on the roadside, and if them don't sell them, I'm gonna throw them away. The breadfruits are even, and I can tell you, we're doing our good breadfruit industry. Those breadfruits are in everybody's yards, eh?
I know, because like my grandaunt had a breadfruit tree when I was there with her for the summer, and almost every other day you hear them dropping.
Yeah,
we could even catch them all. And then when she did pile up enough, she set out the coal stove or something in the backyard, and she roast and the whole day she roast.
Yeah.
And then in the evening walk around to the neighbors' houses and was delivering them. Went to about 20 houses that evening.
Yeah. So we don't need to stock up on food here. Food is everywhere, basically. It's the lockdown or just do without for the weekend. Is the lockdown? Boy, them lock me down enough to eat them food there. They eat them out. Yeah. No need to run up and down too. The thing is, when we hoard food, it creates an artificial shortage in the system. So if you used to buy 1 dozen eggs and a dozen oranges and put in your fridge for the week, when they call for a lockdown or they call for what they call it, no movement day, and you start to hoard the stuff, it creates an artificial shortage, as if to say the egg short and when it's just that some people have these big freezers and really hoarding
the food.
Yeah. All right, so Violet says,
but
go ahead, Tony.
No, I keep thinking about it that we're over here hoarding food, and then Haiti is right across next door needing food, Yeah. But we have such abundance here, and they don't.
And it's all about planting the food, eh? Plus, a lot of our food too. So a lot of our trees here grow naturally, like the mangoes, the akis, and so on, the breadfruits. Them plant back from Wapifield, Kinfield, way back before me even born. And we have a lot of sunshine, we have a lot of rain, we have a lot of land, right? I've hardly gone on a land that's really barren, though I've not even one tree on it.
That's if the homeowners are really lazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, because usually even if it's good soil, birds will drop stuff and trees will grow.
Yeah. So we do have a lot of food in Jamaica. All right, so you need to get up back so I can answer the question I was about to. Hi, Jaman. Good evening.
How do I get?
All right, so this evening we're actually going to look at one of the acts called. Are you going back up, Tony, so that I can?
Yeah, I'm back up already.
It's called the Property Rights of Spouses Act, 2000, Act of 2004.
I remember when this one came out.
When you remember that? 2004?
Yeah, man. I remember I was in college when it came out.
The Property Rights of Spouses Act. All right. So we're going to go through that one because I know some of what you learn from it today is going to affect you. You'll realize, ouch, I'm in a precarious situation here.
Hi, Lenny. Happy Sunday. Maxine says, oh, here's it. Janice wants to know.
I have land in St. Mary and want to build, but not sure if I should or buy a house elsewhere. I live overseas. Well, Janice, it depends on where in St. Mary and how you want to live. Some parts of St. Mary are no rural and some parts are like you're in the town, right? So like the town of Port Maria or the town of Anata Bay. So it just depends on where is the property. Part of St. Mary is also close to Ocherius itself.
Touches it.
Touches it, like literally borders it, So If you're like Tower Island, those places, you're in St. Mary.
Even Boscobel.
Even Boscobel. But technically it's like you're in Ocho Rios. So it just depends on where. Are you up in the hills? Do you have electricity? Do you have running water? Do you have access to internet? Do you have access to cable?
Are you in an organized community?
Yeah. Now, if you're living overseas, you're used to those things already. Now you have to decide, do I want to come back to Jamaica and live like how it was how much years ago? 40, 50 years ago. There are some persons who the development has not touched, unfortunately. There are some persons who progress. There are some in some areas, some communities in our country, unfortunately, where they haven't seen the progress of all the things that have been going on, right? So that's what you have to ask yourself, Janice, when you decide if you want to build on this land. Well, at least that's what I would ask myself, you know? Also, am I close enough to some kind of clinic or hospital or shopping, things that I need to sustain myself? Ask yourself that. Good evening, ladies. Questions. What are your thoughts on buying indentured land? When you say indentured land, I think you're talking about land that don't have any title. My thoughts are don't touch it. The only way you touch that is if the person you're buying it from can show who they bought it from. And they can also show who that person bought it from. And they can also show who that person bought it from. Because you have to prove a 30-year history of this land. All right? So the indentured land, you want to make sure, first of all, you're getting it cheap, because you might have some issues. And you want to make sure you can prove ownership 30 years going way back.
I don't get it. Why doesn't the current owner go and get a title?
I don't know. Don't know the circumstances. It just says indentured land. So this is land bought through with an indenture, meaning it's like a conveyance, and they say, I, John Brown, buying this from Tom Stroke. This land that is, but the guava tree border it and the apple tree border it. Some of them actually comes with a diagram too, right? Mm-hmm. And that's called an indenture. As a matter of fact, I do have an indenture in my email. I need to look for it. I can probably show you what it looks like. Because right now I'm trying to get a property for a person to get a title.
Violet Simpson says, I so look forward to joining you guys on Sundays.
Thank you, Violet.
Can you let me know how long closing on a house with HAG takes from development to closing? Doing my research. It'll be a cash purchase, Edmond Ridge. Yay, you bought the Edmond Ridge.
You bought the Edmond Ridge. Congratulations. Oh my God. We have an experience with HAG.
The what? This is 2021. And they're building houses this time.
HAG is one of those agencies that take forever. But you know something? You just sit and wait.
And they I don't think this one's gonna take too long. The Chinese are building. And they're building pretty fast.
They're building pretty fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. So HAG don't have full control. Yeah. Chinese are building, which is a game changer, right?
It's not HAG.
It's not HAG building, Edmond Ridge. So as soon as those houses are ready, I guess you will be ready to close. Yeah. It shouldn't be a long process. As long as the house is ready. When we went there, some of the houses were actually ready. Mm-hmm. They were just completing the roads and finishing the infrastructure and so on.
Right, because all the townhouses were up already.
Yeah. HAG tends to be a slow agency though. But they do deliver. We have bought property from them and they do deliver eventually.
Slow but sure.
Slow but sure, yeah. And they're a good bunch to deal with. Apart from now with Catherine Estate, and them don't want me buy one.
There'll be other opportunities.
But I'm not bashing them because I've bought other properties from them, so I'm not bashing them.
Dr. D, talking about food, 2 pounds of Jamaican sweet potatoes is £7. How does that compare to Jamaica? You bought sweet potatoes recently?
Yeah, you pay about $150 a pound.
Okay.
That's about, the pounds is it same pounds are British pound or US?
Pounds.
Pounds. The pounds are about 210 to 1 now. So we pay about $150 a pound. Hey, plus these things in Jamaica, you don't even have to buy them.
Maybe you can do a supermarket run and show them what it's like.
Sure.
Yeah.
You pay about 150. I tell you, if you take your pension and come here, you live like a king. It's those who work here and have to use their pension don't live like a king. If you take your pension and come here, live like a king. 220. I think that's where the pound is now, actually. So you'll pay 0.68 pence. If I'm saying that right, not sure. I'm not sure if I was a pence or shilling or what. But it's 0.68, it works out to 150 Jamaican dollars divided by 220. That would be 0.68 pence. Right? You're paying $7 a pound. Wow. You all need to buy houses in Jamaica. So that 6 months out of the year, you get a break on buying the food, man. No? You come here and live. You know, and everybody house you go. Everywhere I go around Jamaica. Mm-hmm. Like we went to this lady in Montego Bay. Remember? I forgot her name now. She called me to look at her property.
Montego Bay?
Yeah, ma'am.
I was there?
Yeah, ma'am.
Oh, yes, I was there.
Yeah. Right near the hotel.
Yes, I remember.
And we left with pear. What's avocado pear? Don't it?
Yeah.
We leave with sweet or sour sop.
I think it's sweet sop.
Sweet sop.
Left with breadfruit.
Left with breadfruit. We get these things all the time.
Just like that.
Just like that.
And I realize every time we go to the country, we usually get some food to bring back.
Yeah, man. Sugar cane, banana. I went to Port Maria and the man just going and field and just chopped down a whole, what do you call it? A bungo? A bunch? A bunch. A whole bunch of bananas.
Sure,
each one is a hand. No, man, it's a bunch of them call it. A bunch of banana. So each 12 or so that you cut off, that's a hand. But the whole thing is a bunch. Yeah, just cut off a whole bunch of banana. So I came back and I shared it up with everybody in my neighborhood. You get these things like nothing.
Lenny says, Claudia, I was offered a piece of land in St. Mary, close to the sea, just the other side of the road. I fear tsunami and salt damage. Am I being too picky?
Oh, Lenny.
Yes, you're being too picky.
You were offered. Is this land free, Lenny? Tell me if it's free. Let me go get it too. I'll go and get it.
That's all like it near a main road.
Yeah. Has to be on a main road, Tony. If the seas, he says the seas like Ocean Point. He says the seas across the street and he's on this side.
Well, by the land.
We've never had one of those tsunamis in Jamaica, but we've had hurricanes, right? Mm-hmm. And you know, if you're too close to the sea, you have to pay attention to how you build because the sea will rotten any metal or any steel and those kind of things, right?
Yeah, you have to be like the hotel. The hotels are right on the sea.
And the hotels are right on the sea. Because I've got guest houses on the sea. So basically, I don't know how you can worry about an event that may not happen for the next 50, 100 years. Mm-hmm. May not happen. All right? I think you missed some questions,
wants to
Tony.
Plan for eventualities.
No, but some things you can't plan for. You take a chance and run with it. Mm-hmm. You grab the button and run, man. You don't know if you're going to fall down.
I know, like, you can live in the house until you pass, and then the tsunami is your child's problem.
Yeah, not yours. It's like I said to my kids, and I said, guys, you know, to put up a slab roof is more expensive than to put on a gable, which is board and zinc and whatever. I said, you know something? Next house I build, you know, I'm not putting on a slab roof because the roof, the gable is going to last maybe 30, 40 years. Mm-hmm. I'm saying, hold on a little bit, man. I bet I'm gonna do that, man, and make it befit them problem if it doesn't change. Why am I doing all of this so that them not have to do no work? And I've decided, and I'm building no more houses, no slab roof. Them have to do some work. So it's all like, you know, with this tsunami questions. Tsunami, right? You said you were offered. Is it you're getting it free? What's his name again?
Lenny.
Lenny. Were you getting it for 20 years past another question, man? God.
Those aren't questions.
I
keep having an issue where it's highlighted and I can't see them.
Oh, see there? Lenny. So Lenny, you offered a piece of land in St. Mary close to the sea. You need to tell me if you're getting it free. Just go on and tell the land and stop second guessing it. I mean, land is land, no matter where it is. We talk about land banking all the time. Let us say the person was giving you the money, not the land value. Mm-hmm. Would you hesitate?
No, they're gonna probably take it.
Right.
So
T. Burrell says, I've been getting a lot of knowledge from you ladies. Thank you so much. You're getting some more today. We're going to look at the Property Rights of Spouses Act. T. Burrell. The Property Rights of Spouses Act. We're going to be looking at that today. Any more questions? Or you go onto your phone to see the question?
Yeah, because it's too blurry right there.
Blurry. All right, no problem.
T. Burrell says, God bless you. Dr. D says, looking forward to living like a king.
Yes, living like a king.
And he says, pence is what you say.
Oh, pence. Okay. And you can also afford, you can afford childcare here. You'll be able to afford cleaning care here. So you'll be able to afford somebody to clean your house, to be a gardening, all of those things that you can't afford when you live in these first world countries, right?
Maxine says, all Jamaican food is expensive here. I can't imagine.
Oh, I can imagine. That's which country she?
England.
That's in England. Okay.
Brittany
I want to say
says,
it's Jamaican food. And sweet potato and those things are universal. They don't grow sweet potato in England.
How do you grow it in England?
How? What do you mean how?
Cold.
It's cold all the time? And the
Yeah.
breadfruit and the ackee and those things? Oh my God.
Cold all the time.
Oh, we need to do more export because we are throwing away the food right now.
I mean, if maca grow there, it's strong.
Where?
England.
So England import all the food? That can't be true.
No, man, they grow stuff
They
there.
must grow some stuff.
All right.
Thank you, T. Burrell. God bless you too.
Lenny says, I wish it was free. Jenny says, it's in Jeffreytown, 40 minutes from Ocho Rios. No running water. No running water.
No running water. Oh, that's a game changer.
Yeah. Probably need to buy a house.
You need to buy a house somewhere else.
Yeah, I can't imagine coming from a first world country and then coming to a quote-unquote third world country and living with no running water.
Stop trying rubbish about third world country. We are not a third world
That's
country.
what they call us. That's why I said quote-unquote.
But them can't say all them want. We have everything that any other first world country have.
No,
Tell me one thing we don't have. What do we have? We need trains. You can just walk from here down the road. Do you need a train? You don't need a train. We can drive around this island in half a day.
Train would be quicker though.
Kid you not, guys. We can now drive around the island in half a day because of the highways. I'm taking a highway now from St. Andrew where we are straight to St. Thomas, straight to Portland. So I would have gone through there. Then I can keep on the same road and go all the way around to St. Anne, to Trelawney, to St. James, and all the way around and come back. I can do that in half a day. So we don't need trains, do we? I remember when I was little though, my mother sent me on the train to a camp. I think it was Moreland's camp at the time. It was a nice camp. Actually sat watching them sleep on bunk beds. It was part of a church group. I remember that. Went on a train and it was fun. I was little, but it was fun. I still remember it. None of those things you remember as a child.
Brittany Green says, Miss Claudia, do you know anything about the new Brunswick village? Is that the NHD scheme?
A village coming at Brunswick? As if Brunswick in Spanish Town? No, I don't know about it. You're telling me about it now.
Tell us about it. Staffy says, hey family, I am buying a new built home which is being built from scratch, right? The developer work with me customizing it to my liking for a fee. Finishes aren't to my liking. Oh, I understand the question now. Hey family, if I'm buying a new built home which is being built from scratch, will the developer work with me customize to my liking for a fee? The finishes aren't to my liking.
Yeah, you can, as long as you don't put them in there.
Right.
Ask him. So you can ask the budget, or you tell him what you like. He will look at the budget that was allocated for it. And then he will say to you, hey, this is over the budget. You may need to give X more money. Or he will say it's within the budget and you can buy. Just depends on the budget that's allocated for this. So let's just say it's a kitchen. And $2 million is allocated for the kitchen. And you want a $5 million kitchen. Then you have to put up the other $3 million for the kitchen.
Or what if you gave him the kitchen to put in?
You can give him the kitchen, but chances are more subtract the 2 million.
And I can give him my own tiles to put in, but he's still gonna charge me.
Yeah.
Okay. But at least in the end, I'd get what I want without having to go through the work again of putting it in.
Yeah. That's why sometimes when you can work with a builder to do the wet work, meaning they do the building itself, they put in the windows, the doors, they lock up the house, put on the roof, and then you finish it. Which is what I did for the first building that I did. And you work with the tiler, what else are going to need? The tiler, the man to put in the fixtures for the bathroom, the kitchen, and so on. You get your own company or your own contractors to do. So you can ask the builder for the price for wet work only. It don't have to be complete build.
But I think he's talking about a developer.
Yeah, but it don't matter. You can ask the developer as well.
The developer don't necessarily do wet work.
Yeah, they will. What's the cost to give me this?
You can go to a developer like Chemtech and ask just for the wet work. I don't think so.
Depends on the developer, I've said.
Oh.
Some developers are flexible. Yes, you can. But with the developer, it may not cost you any less for the house. That's what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. So let's say he's putting in ceramic tile, and you said to him, no, I don't want the ceramic, I want to put in a porcelain. Then you bring a porcelain, and then he will probably let his men put it in. Okay. But he's not going to charge you any less. Okay. You understand? Because chances are he probably would have already bought the tile for the whole project. Right?
And now he just has a house extra of tiles with nothing to do with it.
Right. And you may have bought the toilet or whatever. So you can probably work with him that way. You buy the toilet and then let his workers put it in and so on. Mm-hmm. Right?
Maxine says, I'm also scared of these seaside lands. Your furniture get rusty too.
Yeah, that's not if you don't have mahogany. You have to have mahogany. Or you have to have aluminum.
Or some plastic furniture.
All right. But some persons want to be by the sea. Personally, I prefer to be on the other side. Not on the side of the sea. But I've been to hotels in Jamaica and they're right on the sea. We don't have any problems. There doesn't seem to be any problem.
The only thing I don't like about being right next to the sea is the noise it makes in the night.
Yeah. You get no sleep. You better make sure you put in soundproof window if you want to buy one of them there. But we have been to the hotel, so I guess we don't live there. We just there maybe for a weekend. So I mean,
I feel like the rooms in the hotel, when you're inside the hotel room, you can't hear anything.
You can't hear anything. They seem to be soundproof.
Yeah.
You can't hear the neighbor. You can't hear outside. Nothing at all. So, I don't know. But remember, if you're buying the property, then you have a choice. You choose where you want.
Devon Field says, what's the next best alternative for roofing other than zinc or slab roofing?
The same gable for zinc, but you can use Decra tile. You can use standing seam. Matalan roofing cell standing seam. Spectrum cell Decra tile. You can go to Tankwell to and buy a profile zinc sheet. It's the same zinc as in zinc
that they used to make fence.
Zinc for roof. We're not supposed to be using zinc for fence.
I know, but it's that same zinc.
Yeah, but it's on a profile, right? So you can have a different profile.
So what does profile mean? How it looks?
Profile means how it looks. So it might curve this way, or it might be wider in the curve, the indentures, the hill and valley that it makes to take off the water. So you can go to Tankwell. There are about 2 or 3 different grades of zinc. So one is thicker, one is next thicker, and one is thickest, right? So you can order the profile and in the color too. So I think it comes in red, green, and some other colors. And you can ask your roofer to spec it for you, to tell you the length. So like the other day I was doing a roof. I think it was actually something like 30-something feet in length. But the regular zinc don't come in that length. You understand? Mm-hmm. So I went to Tankwell, gave them the length, and so them cut the profile to that length. The width is the same. The width is about, I don't remember now, I think it's about 32, 33, something like that. But in terms of the length, because what happened, sometimes you don't want a whole heap of overlapping zinc for cause problem for your roof. Leak, right? That problem. So if you go to Tankwell, you get the full length profile of what you're trying to achieve, and they will cut it for you to the length that you want. Perfect. Use it on a roof. Or as I say, you go to Matalon Roofing. They're a little bit more expensive. And I shouldn't use the word expensive, but it costs more at Matalon Roofing. They use standing seam roofs, which are very nice.
I think they're
gutter
pretty.
system. They're very pretty. And you can go to Spectrum, who have Decor tiles. I've used Decor tiles as well. That's how with Decor tiles, you take them off, you can't use them again.
I like the standing seam. Make your roof look clean.
Yeah,
and that's great for rainwater harvesting.
Yeah, with Decor tiles, your roof have to be steep like this, right? As it comes in 4 feet by, so, Karen, what a measurement, 4 feet by, is it 18 inches? Could be, or 16 inches depth, and 4 feet in length. But yeah, those are your options. Some people put on a zinc roof, really nice. I see a contractor put on a zinc roof the other day. I swear it was not a zinc roof. The thing looked good, may I tell you. You just had the zincs rotten after a while, right?
How many years you get with that?
You get a good amount of years. Just had them rotten after a while. To slow down the rotting, you can paint the zinc as well.
All right, so Maxine says,
Alexander, you're awake. You're going to eat your dinner now. Jesus.
Maxine says, I want to live in Manchester. When I want to go to the beach, I'll drive and go. Yes, exactly.
I think I have an eyelash in my eyes.
Let me see.
You'll go to the beach. And, yeah.
Well, it looks good.
Looks alright. Yeah, I think I moved it out. So when I was in Moorlands Camp, I think it's in Manchester, and they did take us to the beach. I think they took us down like Treasure Beach or one of those places down that side. Yeah. Remember going on an island, you know, so you have the beach all around you.
Secret says, good evening, ladies. Breadfruit is £5 in the UK.
Man, you all leave your beautiful country with cheap food.
Yeah, but I don't think they left to go to foreign for the food. I think they went there for the job opportunities. They come to Jamaica for the food opportunities.
Yeah, but I think that the jury's out on that one. With me personally, I saw my mother go abroad and never helped her.
Yeah, but I think
she left for the opportunity.
I think that's dependent on the person who goes overseas. Because some persons go overseas and do really well.
Yeah, but they're still doing the same thing. Having some children, buying one house, buying one car.
So what else should they be doing?
And then retire. I'm saying you can't do that in any country. You can do it here, over there. You can't do it in any country.
Yeah, but I really like the idea where I've gone overseas and come back here with my pension and I can live like a king because the dollar value when it converts is so much.
I just hope you don't destroy your health doing it though. But I don't know. The thing is that the truth is that the migration has hurt Jamaica on a whole. Mm-hmm. Because our bright people left there. Mm-hmm. As far as I'm concerned, it's only second tiers having our own country now. Remember when in school, I went to Central Branch Primary and we had A class, B class, and C class. Anybody remember that? Mm-hmm. I was in the A class. I was always in the A class. I think a lot of our A students picked up themselves and left simply because they wanted better. You know what I mean?
I think their parents took them too.
The parents took them too.
For them to get better.
Yeah, and the parents sponsored them to leave as well, hoping for better opportunities. Jamaica has not capitalized on the natural resources in our people that we have.
And to think that some of them go overseas and do great things. So.
Yeah, we have not. I mean, the other day I hear in Paul Honolulu, the very few times I even do listen to them on the radio, that they didn't renew some of the doctors' contracts. And I'm like, really? How could we not renew doctors' contracts? I mean, I found that so. How could we say we don't have enough places for doctors?
Not only that, and then he comes on the news and say, oh, how many persons have COVID? You don't need doctors to help those persons.
Yeah, confused everybody. So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe one hand doing this and the other hand doing that. Whatever. I don't know. But I'm saying...
Not a politician, eh?
Yeah, I'm saying that you allow your bright people to leave, bright teachers in mathematics and science and all these things, and pack up and leave.
We got a serious drain on the teachers, though.
Yeah, we did.
I mean, thank God for the good few that's still here.
Yeah, those that came back actually.
And they're struggling with the system because it's not that great, but I'm glad they're here.
Some of the politicians who are in politics now actually went overseas, had a life, studied, learn, hone their skills, and they're now back in government, really trying to help. And I'm happy for that. Like I say, a politician, Nigel Clark, I really admire that man and his some of his policies, that he brought about. Like one of them was the same GCT policy where he said, hey, if you're not earning 10 million or more, don't charge any GCT. The truth is that one policy puts more money in the government's pockets.
It does.
That one policy actually puts more money in the government pocket.
And it takes the burden off the small business owner to try and do that extra accounting.
Yeah. And at the same time, the government gets to now collect more GCT because a small business person cannot claim back any GCT that they have paid. So that one move alone was a stroke of genius. I mean, those of you who didn't pick it up yet, I'm here to tell you, it was a stroke of genius on the government side. So that alone gave them more money in their coffers. But I see them doing a lot of things with housing too. So this government certainly is trying to get more houses out there, They have also tried to allow you to buy a property using the same NHT. Those of you overseas can still sign up and get a property. I've had clients like that. Some of them have actually gone into NHT to help them sort out themselves, doing the interviews and so on for them. So the government of Jamaica is trying everything as it is with the resources that we have, right? But I think as citizens, we have to make use of the opportunities in front of us before we look somewhere else. So don't look at the neighbor to say, oh, so the man the grass green. When grass are green, what is he doing?
Horse manure.
But which is why I always say to my children, I say, listen, one of the things I do believe too is that if you can't conquer this, I don't even say, oh, you're going to conquer overseas. You have to conquer where you are. And you have to conquer the school you're in. So if we send you to prep school, primary school, whatever, you can't conquer the little class or whatever. Why should we spend money to send you to this school and that school and this school and that school? Why? And them tell me, oh, Claudia, because they're late bloomers. Really?
But some people are.
Yeah, but you better bloom
And
fast.
some people need more systems in place to kind of guard them along their journey.
Yeah, they need systems.
Guide them along the journey.
But I think the onus is on every individual.
And I think
to make use of the opportunities that are in front of them. I think a lot of persons miss opportunities that are in front of them. And they struggle because they didn't. The successful person makes use of more opportunities than the unsuccessful person. That's just the difference.
Yeah, but some persons don't recognize that there's an opportunity.
Well, they miss it. That's what I'm saying. They've missed it. So that's part of the challenge. But and the persons who went overseas, you have contributed to this country. Like my mother went overseas, she did send back barrels, and that is what helped me to be able to buy a property early. But then I was looking for my opportunities and making sure I took them when they came. Some of you have gotten those barrels, you get them every year, same way, and you're wasting the barrel resources. You're wasting your opportunities, not realizing that you're being supported from outside this country and that you're to convert that support into something meaningful and you're to multiply that support that you're getting. Because remember, don't last forever. Mama and daddy one day are going to come home. Right? And when them come home, you have to make sure that you have multiplied what it is that they have been sending. All right.
Dr. D says, not grown here, we import from Egypt, but they are doing and full of water.
Egypt. Are you serious?
Breadfruit.
So on to Jamaica. So Jamaica, why they can't export breadfruit and sweet potato and them something there? Why not?
I don't know.
Oh my God. To England of all the people. England was a mother country. So why? England not supposed to give you no trouble for export nothing there.
Secret says Jamaica had the first train system in the Caribbean in the past.
We did. You see, all those things that we had, quite frankly, we couldn't maintain them because, again, our bright people left. The persons who would have been trained or who could have been trained because of them brain power.
Yeah, because trains need engineers.
Yeah, we need engineers. We need those people to run those things. If you only have fitters out here and people who can just push one screwdriver, not gonna happen. The place must smash up. So that's part of our problem. The people with the brains left. And as much as I don't want to see, that is my take on it. I think 3/4 of our brains is overseas. And if they would only come back and integrate, as I said, some of them have come back. They're in politics and they are working wonders with this country right now.
I think a majority of our brains are coming back retired.
I don't want to do any work.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if they can. I think one way they could contribute though is in the school system.
Yeah, we should have our returning residents volunteer on school days.
Yeah,
to assist with guiding our young people.
Yeah, you should really volunteer, guys. If you're coming back to this country to retire, I think you should think about it. Schools near to you, work with the principal, and you could be assigned to one of those classrooms with the teacher to help, to mentor, and to guide, and to just to be there. We have a lot of children whose parents are overseas. They have no fathers, no mothers, and don't get proper guidance.
Not only that, too, you'd see the wonders of just children hearing someone with a different accent and a different perspective on life.
Yeah,
really opens their mind and possibilities
it does.
For their futures.
Like one of the teachers who really changed me was Susan. I think her name is Goff now. She was part of the what am I movement? Those people who Jamaicans for Justice.
Mm-hmm.
She taught me at Woolworths.
Mm-hmm.
There's this other teacher with a space. I can't remember her name now. She had a space between her teeth.
Don't like mine?
Yeah, but I can't remember her name. No, those teachers. So teachers on a whole. Also had a teacher at Central Branch Primary, Mrs. Fawkes. She was an older teacher. And so the teachers at Central Branch, Mrs. Blake when I was in grade 1. Mrs. Abel, whose husband was the principal of the school at Central Branch. She taught me in grade 2. She was ambidextrous. She could write with both hands. That's what I remember about her. But she was a strong teacher. I also had Mrs. Fawkes in grade 3, and I had her back in grade 5. Tell you, those teachers influenced me. So I can tell you that teachers influenced me. My good friend Jackie too taught me mathematics when I was flunking out 4th form maths and physics and those things. Because even though I was flunking the whole time, because my mother left when I was going to 2nd form, I was flunking 2nd and 3rd. Miss Pinto just sent me go. She sent me to sciences because physics, chemistry, and bio were the only 3 things I passed. She said, I don't know what I'm going to do with you. You're going to be a literate doctor. That's what Miss Pinto said to me. But she sent me there because I did feel literature, I feel language, I feel history and geography and everything. But she sent me there because she said, this girl, I can't do the work, but something wrong. And she was sending for my father all this time, but the man never turned up.
Illiterate doctor.
And of course, by that time I was on the road, I was on the streets already. By the end of 4th form, threw me out. So my entire 5th form was on the streets. But my friend Jackie, she was the one who taught me maths and physics. And I must really thank Jackie for teaching me the maths and physics because it gave me a different perspective and a breakthrough. You understand? So you need other people, you need other mentors, somebody else to give a different perspective about the thing. Because when the teachers couldn't get through to me with this maths, so Jackie would just tell me and show me 1 and 2 things, structure all me for the right out the equation and whatever, and I got it. It
helps that your brain quick though.
Yeah, tell that too. But everybody, if you're coming back to this country, irrespective of whether you're coming back as a teacher or anything else, consider. And I want the government of Jamaica to also consider allowing for mentors to work with the teachers in the classrooms. We need more adults in the classrooms, right? And on the school compound on a whole to help to shape the generations coming up. We don't have enough of that right now.
Zena K says, if I buy property, should I add my child's name or should I write it in the will?
You can add your child's name if you're not taking a loan. A lot of the banks frown on it. What's the clause, Tony, on it? Where can I find the clause now? There's a clause though. So if you put in your child's name on it, let's say you're buying it cash. I put in his name on it. So if I were to buy a property now and I say, okay, this one is for Xander. I want Xander's name on it because he's under 18. There's a clause that we have to put on it. I call it the child's clause, but it's not same name. The lawyers can tell you the right name for it. But I'm told he's going to see if she can search for it. It's a clause that basically still gives you, the adult, the right to mortgage or to sell or those things, right? It's take out the S and put child clause. And we're gonna look for it. Is there another question? While Tony looks for that.
I just saw it come up.
Oh. So you're going to post it?
Brittany Green says, yes, that is on Brunswick Avenue near Irie Jerk. I heard Sagicor has something to do with it. And Nadzi says the Brunswick Village is a Sagicor development.
Oh, must check it out. Sagicor, I can check that out tomorrow.
I just saw it. Where did it go?
So we're gonna post the clause that you need to make sure your lawyer puts it in the contract on the title, guys. Right? So if you are purchasing cash and you want to put this, paste it, and you want to put your child's name on the title. Now, if you're taking a loan, some of the banks probably won't allow it, right? But it does. The clause being on it does allow you to do what you need to do, right? So it says, John Brown, which would be your child, student born on the 24th day of August 1995, all of 5 Jamaica Close, which is the address, in the parish of St. Catherine, reserving unto the said Mary Brown, which is you, the parent, during the infancy of the said John Brown, the full right and the power to transfer or mortgage or by any instrument under the Registration of Titles Act to assign, charge, or dispose of the said land or any portion thereof as if the said Mary Brown was the only registered proprietor thereof. So it's posted in the chats. So those of you who wish to put your children's name on a property that you're buying now, you can do that. I would say, if you're purchasing this property for cash, yes, put the child's name on it. Don't wait to leave it in a will, right? That's so unnecessary.
Not only that, so here it is that you've passed on and your child is grieving, and then the attorney comes and say, you have to do probate, you have to do this, that, to get all these properties that mom and dad own in your name. It's just something extra to add to the problems that you're already facing.
Yeah, it is. So if you can solve that.
And the thing too, it takes money. So after you've buried your parent, you then have to spend all this extra money to get these properties transferred.
Yeah. So you want to do this because you want this clause because let us say you buy this property now, 2021, and the child is only 0 like Xander. 5 years down the road, you want to sell the property. If Xander's name is on it, without this clause, you cannot sell that property. You have to wait until the child is 18 and has the power to sign.
Mm-hmm.
And the child can say, I'm not signing.
Why you want to sell my legacy, mom?
Yeah, why you want to sell my land, mom? Come on, mom. No, mom. You know what I'm saying? So you put the clause in because it says you reserve as if unto you, as if you were the only registered proprietor thereof. But if the child reach 18 and you want to sell, you have to get their signature, right?
So I'm French, says Miss Claudia. People call you that a lot. Miss Claudia.
Yeah, they do.
Miss Claudia.
I don't mind. You can just call me Claudia, though. Mm-hmm.
I think it's a sign of respect.
Yeah, respect. Yeah, because I'm an elder now.
Right. It's like I call your friend Mr. Trescott.
Yeah, I'm an elder.
Okay, so Miss Claudia, do you know anything about Plantation Village in St. Anne? The one beside Richmond.
I know it, but I haven't sold anything in there. I've never been in there.
Have you been? Oh, you haven't been in there.
No, I haven't sold anything in there. I don't even know anybody owns anything in there, for that matter. But it's a scheme that's been about for a good while.
Mm-hmm.
Any idea of a rough estimate that lawyers charge for land purchase? I'm in the UK. Yeah, 3% is the standard fee. You can negotiate it with a lawyer. How does
Orlando says, Janice W., I would not live in Jeffertown even if the land was for $1. That's Orlando giving Janice some advice.
Some advice, yeah.
Garfield Robbins says, good evening. If I'm making a small house for myself, do I need to go to the parish council?
Yes, you do. Any building needs building approval. You go to the parish council. You submit it to the parish council in your parish.
The parish that the land is located.
Yeah. How does NHT determine who acquires a unit for one of their developments? Does it depend on age only, points, and affordability, or both? All of the above. All of the above.
You have to be able to pass NHT's algorithm, which is a kind of a secret. Monica wants to know, Jamaican potatoes are more expensive than the other potatoes. It is sold for $3.99 and up per pound. Canadian funds. Any fruits or vegetables from Jamaica cost more. So we really should capitalize on that and try and get more stuff out.
More stuff out. That's the thing. We need to capitalize and send these things. I mean, with 2 million Jamaicans overseas, we have a good market.
Not only that, we should put the people to work.
Yeah.
And planting the
food.
And we have good weather all year round, so we shouldn't stop us from planting. All right, so
I have a question here. Where are you? Because I see this question. Deed with an aunt, now the parent has passed. You reach here yet? What's the next step?
No, I don't reach there yet.
Okay.
TJ, if I paid my deposit to hold a unit, a new development in US dollars already, am I out of luck as far as exchange rate is concerned? If I paid my deposit to hold a unit with at a new development in US dollars already, am I out of luck as far as exchange rate is concerned? What do you mean?
What do you mean out of luck? As long as you're earning US dollars, it don't matter, the exchange rate don't matter to you. If you're not earning US dollars, like what reach me with a dip.
It just went up. When you started, it was at what?
When the development started, it was at 125.
Mm-hmm.
And this development finished at 145. I was so out of pocket, guys. But I managed to survive it. But I was living the whole time with it.
I know, because all of a sudden you used to spend X and now you're spending Y.
You see the thing moving, you're like, damn, it's a moving target. If you're buying the US dollars, so if you don't earn the US dollars, you won't get into US dollar transactions. I learned my lesson hard. Anyway, I still would have, because that land is so perfect that I wanted it, right? So I still would have done it, but it is nerve-wracking if you're earning Jamaican dollars to buy in a US dollar. It's nerve-wracking. But those of you who live overseas, that shouldn't be a problem. Unless you live in Canada and the UK trying to do this, then I guess you have the same problem, right?
Devon says the hotels build artificial reefs to stop the big waves from coming in.
Oh,
okay, that's good.
That's good.
Jennifer says, hi, Miss D and Miss C. What can NHT 6.5 mil and 2.5 mil get in Jamaica?
2.5 mil can get your land. You want to show them the land? I need to start now.
So it's
class.
6 and 2.
4 minutes.
8.5.
How many questions have we?
Lots. So he keeps coming. What you want to do?
I need to get into the RFS side.
Okay.
2.5 million. That's how I get sticky. You really need to join with somebody. Or merge money with another bank. You can get land though, but your land might not have any services. Go to HAJ side. I think HAJ have some land in that price range.
Yeah, I think Waterford sells in this price range too.
6.5? No.
Just 2 million cash.
Oh, you have 2 million cash on 6.5, 8.5. Waterford sell for that. The quad sell for that. As a matter of fact, everybody, we have a Waterford coming out. Coming out tomorrow, Tony.
Yeah, I can make that happen.
So we have a Waterford for sale coming out. 2 beds, 1 bath. And you can fix it how you want, right? When the Waterford come, if you see it and you want it, you need to just put in your offer right away, don't wait. For every property I've sold in Waterford right now, 4 years from now, I'm going to say, you know, I should have bought that Waterford. Every time it goes, I say, Claudia, should have bought it. Claudia, should have bought it. The first one I sold was 3.2. But that one I was selling it now, I'd have double my money. Almost triple my money.
Okay, what you want to find?
You need to share the screen. Look for, no, I want HAJ actually. Richard, can you come and adjust this fan for me, please? Oh, Xander is eating his dinner. What's for dinner, Zans? From behind this. Yeah. Okay, thank you. What now selling? I do believe they have a scheme. Huh. Adjusted hours.
When's the curfew now?
Phase 3. Phase 4 of Luana is coming soon. I thought it was out already. Come here. Lord. Oh, shooters is not out yet either.
It's coming soon.
Coming soon. Let me see this. I do believe Luana is in that price bracket, you know.
You can put a small house on it. Did they give me any details?
Uh-oh.
Could be unknown.
Yeah, them sell out phase 3 already, but I think it was 2 point something.
Luana is not a bad area to be in. It's close to the main road.
Mm-hmm. So what are they now selling? I'm not selling anything now.
They're selling Edmond Ridge and
Catherine
Estates.
Estates. One of those two things are selling. Mm-hmm. We also looked at the Catherine Estates for you. We're going to be sending out that video as well. It's a reasonable start for everybody. Those of you who get one of these, just take it, run with it, and make it in a mansion. Yeah. You have the land space. I understand it's not going to be gated, but I don't think that's going to be an issue.
Gated?
Not going to be fenced.
I didn't expect that price point to be gated.
Yeah, I didn't expect it. It's not going to be fenced, but I think you just take it, run with it. It reminds me of when the quads came out.
Mm-hmm.
Just take it. Some persons could have bought the quad and never bought it. All right, let me look on my system now and see what's available. She said 2.5 for 3 million there. So
why you keep saying 2.5
million? She asked about land and house. 3 million.
She said, "Hi, Miss Davis. Hi, Miss D and Miss C. What can NHD 6.5 and cash 2 million get in JD?"
So she want 8.5 then. Put 9 million there. And you want it. You want to know she can make apartment, townhouse, house.
Mm-hmm.
You have 600 houses.
No, you have to go down to sales.
But you need to tell me which parish.
It's sale.
Which parish? Or any parish. Don't matter. 73 things under 9 million. Right. Tregiga Park. It's a piece of land.
No, it's a house.
The house. Hold on there. No, I don't think she want that. She have 9 million. Let's start at the bottom. So you can get 110 Oliver Gardens for 9 million. Looks like a house.
She has 8.5 million.
No, I look for 9 million house. Industry Penn St. Mary Retreat.
See there, Waterford 8.5.
Waterford.
Oh, they want cash bars only.
Wonder why. 2-bedroom fixer upper private treaty property located in Western Park. Harrison Heights, that's Maypen. Where's the Waterford?
Purple peach looking.
Harmonies. It's a 3-bed. The one we're bringing out is a 2-bed, but we will take loan.
You can get a small apartment.
You can get a small apartment at Bellevue Heights. So we're building on Bellevue Boulevard. This place is above us. This is a 1-bedroom apartment. Not even a 1-bedroom, it's a studio, correct? That's it. That's your bed and that's the closet. And don't tell me say too near.
No, it's a one bed.
It's a one bed. So this is the bedroom. And this is the living and kitchen, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's your kitchen. I guess you're dining over here, and I guess you have us. You can sit here and eat. All right, this is how it looks.
I mean, it's a one person. This can work.
This can work, sure. We should probably build some one bedrooms like this in Tonya and sell them. This is so cute. Mm-hmm. So where's the bedroom? Through this door or behind us?
Behind you. That seems to be trees, so maybe that's outside.
Maybe this is outside. Oh, cute. It's compact. I like that. There's a fridge. Okay, there's a fridge. It's nice and compact. And you have a. So that's 8.5. You want one? Let me know. Available. Harmon's Hall, Waterford. That one, the one cash buyers. Industrial Pen. This is in St. Mary. How finished house you gonna get? In St. Mary seems to be a good location. I see some nice houses on the road.
Yeah, just to finish it up.
Just to finish it up. Maybe another 10 million to get it there.
Yeah, but I don't think you can get NHT if it's not...
if it's not covered and it don't have any toilet, you can't get NHT.
Right, so this you can get NHT. Yeah.
It's 2-bedroom, fixer upper Park Heights. Where? Oh, this is a split level, guys.
It's in a good community. Look at the houses beside it.
Yeah. Which community is this? Hold on. Go back. This is in
Harrison Heights.
Harrison Heights. Okay. All right. So you can get Oliver things 8.5. Call us and tell us where you want to live. Manchester. You can get a 2-bedroom in Manchester too. Gloucester, Thompson Town, Clarendon, Petersfield in Westmoreland. Wow, this look nice. You get a 4-bedroom, nice little house. Westmoreland.
That's a big house.
That's a big house.
With yard space.
Oh, no. How much land is that one? Half an acre.
Half an acre.
4-bed fix up, approximately half acre of land, Petersfield. Could be our commercial or residential property. Yeah, it's probably on the mainland. Completely closer too. Where is this? This one look like
Foreshore Estates.
That's
on Spanish Town Road.
Oh, this is the one on Spanish Town Road. These came out at 5.5. They're now selling this one for 8.5. So this is a 1-bedroom as well. So you go up the stairs there, so to the 1-bed, bathroom. This is a downstairs. So this is the entire room here. So this is a downstairs. And
yeah, the 1-bedrooms in Spanish Town actually look a little bigger.
Yeah. And you go upstairs. So the stairs there, you go upstairs. You got a glass door in the back. Upstairs to the bedroom and the bathroom. For sure. 8.5. That's the one of Spanish Town Road. Cornwall Courts in St. James. You can buy a 1-bed. You can buy a 4-bed in Mandeville, Lower Albany. 8.5 Mars. But you can get only things for 8.5 million, man.
If you don't want to be in St. Andrew.
If you don't want to be in St. Andrew, get a whole house. A whole house. You know, this don't look up St. Andrew because St. Andrew prices are like up there. Let me see if I need St. Andrew. Loading. No, Spanish Town. Oh. Tony, let me get to my lesson. All right, you have any burning question you want to take? All right, everybody, so we're going to look at, let's kill this behind the screen so they don't get distracted. We are now going to look at the Property Rights of Spouses Act. And I think Tony just...
Where did it go?
Just took it off the screen. Those of you who didn't know about this act, you need to go and familiarize yourself with it. We're just going to go through a part of it. Can you put it big on this screen?
What do you mean?
Yeah, I know, Yvonne. HAJ is slow with the results for the 50 houses. 2 months now, I know, right? I tell you, they're slow with just about everything. How am I feeling after taking the vaccine? Courageous Tracy Ann? Man, the thing put me in a pain. My head hurt. my bones, I said my bones hurt. Everywhere on me was hurting. For the first day, it really not my physique. But I had to take the they said I must take Panadol, the blue Panadol, guys. That's why you take. And even though I was supposed to be resting, I didn't. I think I was a little cranky too the day. But that was Friday. Yesterday was a little better for me. Today it's getting better. So I didn't take the painkillers.
Yesterday you went and slept.
Yeah, yesterday
and you were the weirdest thing is that both you and Rachel were really cold.
Yeah, we were cold yesterday. I don't know why. We went into a store and it was freezing. Normally Rachel don't have that problem. I would probably be the one have the problem, but she and I took the vaccine Friday and we were freezing. And
when you went home, you were covering up.
Yeah, even when I went home.
And Rachel was covering up too.
Yeah, like my bones were chilly. Eventually, I had to just go to my bed and just get blanket, socks, pants, everything. I'll somewhere in love with the hoodie jacket. But my temperature seems to have come back. So I'm not feeling like that anymore. And the headache seems to have gone. So I'm actually on day 2 after the vaccine. The doctor did say, if you're still feeling sick after day 3, you are to head to the hospital. So we seem to have gotten over it. So our next vaccine is somewhere in October. But guys, today I heard that one of my clients died from COVID. Because I was texting him, I wasn't hearing from him. His wife called today and he passed from COVID. He didn't get the vaccine. Those of you are still wondering, like myself, if you should have gotten the vaccine. Last week, about Thursday, was when I actually decided, hey, let me not just fool around with this thing and go and get the vaccine. For what it's worth, they're saying that the vaccine will slow any side effects or effects that you're going to have if you do catch COVID. They're not saying that you won't get COVID. Am I correct?
Right.
So they're saying it will slow any side effects of the COVID. In other words, you can come through the COVID faster.
Right. It would reduce you having to go on the hospital on a ventilator.
Right. That's kind of a thing. That's what they're hoping. That's what they're saying. So for what it's worth, I'm encouraging everybody to just go and take the vaccine and give yourself a fighting chance, right?
Because you don't want to catch it and then it gets really bad and you're like, if I didn't know.
Yeah, you regret it. Yeah, so like for me, I have rheumatoid arthritis. That's what them tell me last year. But for some reason, I've taken the vaccine. Took the vaccine on Friday. And I don't feel the pain as much anymore. And I haven't taken any painkillers or anything, right? And also told that I had a fatty liver, high blood pressure. So those are down now. But I'd encourage you to take the vaccine and give yourself a fighting chance. In Jamaica, they're also saying children 12 to 18 can also now take the vaccine. So give yourself a fighting chance. You don't want to say, oh, damn, if I had known, I would have tried it. A lot of things we have to try, right? Until we prove otherwise.
And not only that, too, it's probably just the first new vaccine for our era of people.
Yeah, for adult life, yes.
Yeah, so centuries ago when vaccines were coming out, I'm sure there was heavy resistance.
Same way.
But now as your baby born, they stick you with 100 needles and you're quite fine with it.
Xander's got how many shots, Rich? 3, 2, 3.
And he has a couple more to get.
He has gotten 2 polio. I said, no. Which ones did he get, Rich? He has got 1 BCG and 3 polio. Now, when I was younger, the polio, I think, was given under our tongues. Now, them just jam the needle in the Xander's leg, and oh my God.
Feel it for him.
But my girlfriend, Rosemary, told me how to deal with it. She says, give him the baby Panadol or the baby Cetamol. Start giving it before he goes to get the vaccine. So the day before, give the baby the baby Cetamol or the baby Panadol before you take them to get the vaccine. Because when Xander gets the vaccine, it's as if he's a wounded puppy. He's immobilized with this vaccine. For about a day or two, he just does not move. You have to have him in your hand, and he's like so wounded. So we're going to try that next time. He has another vaccine in October. But Tony's right. When we were younger, your parents lined you up to go get this vaccine. If I have no choice, they just do it. So the majority of us have not had vaccines in our adulthood. I, for one, had vaccines in my adulthood because I went into the army. When you go army, them give a barrage of vaccine. But a lot of you would have not had any vaccine since you're older now. But I want to encourage you to rethink it. Give yourself a fighting chance, right? Give yourself a fighting chance. That's what it's about. It's like when you're going to war. Remember, this virus is unseen. Eventually, it's going to get to you. You can't see it. They're floating around in this area. You don't know when you're going past it. You just don't know. But you want to armor yourself. Like in the army, we prepare ourselves. We want to make sure that our weapons are greased. We want to make sure that we have our ammunition. We want to make sure that we have our bayonet, we have our bulletproof vest, we have our water canter, we have our tent. You understand? So when the rain comes, we have something to cover with. So this is the vaccine. That's what it is, guys.
Because the war we're fighting with,
with this corona. You're fighting an unseen enemy, really. So they've said that the vaccine is one of the things that you can use apart from, the other stuff that Jamaicans wash your hands, wear your mask,
social distance.
Yes, and I've actually double mask, so we're 2 masks, everybody. Also, you want to make sure, tell them we're on YouTube Live.
I did.
You did. Also, you want to make sure that you are eating good food now, not waste food. Food that actually put nourishment in your body.
Everything you put in your mouth from now on should be something that gives you a fighting chance.
Right. Which is why I went on this whole thing to lose this weight, which I started doing. I'm not 174, I'm happy to tell you. Trying to push.
Like, I'll be the first to admit, I never thought you would get there.
Yeah, man, I have to get there. Xander is my motivation. No, I have to get there. So I'm getting there. I'm going to 150. I remember I said, when I get to 150, I buy in my Benz. So I have to get there. So because the truth is, you can't be healthy in an overweight body. It's one thing. You can't be healthy if you're packing on too many pounds. Your heart, your liver, your lungs, all in places where you're not see, And not just your thighs have the fat, and your buttocks, and your hand.
And it's your organs.
It's your organs, the lungs, and the pancreas, the kidney. Like them tell me a fatty liver. So
and you're like, what? My liver gained weight?
Yeah, you're realizing that this liver is packing on the pounds, the fat. So guys, you have to take a step back and say to yourself, I really want to live. I want to give myself a fighting chance. I want to buy the piece of real estate. I want to push my own key, and I'm doing everything in my power to make sure I'm here when the time comes.
TJ says, can you say again what to give the babies before they get vaccines?
Rachel, you have a Panadol right there? Pass it. It's called, TJ, if you're living in Jamaica, I don't know where you live, but they should be the same anywhere in the world.
It's in the fridge.
It's in the fridge. It's a baby Panadol or a baby Cetamol. I think it comes in the Cetamol brand as well. Oh, just give me the box. All right, so this one is called Panadol Baby. So they will tell you to give this after they get the injection, but don't do that. So even before I went and got my vaccine, I was taking a Panadol painkiller, which is probably why it never made me feel so horrible. So you give the baby this the day before. Start giving them this every 6 hours a day before. So that it doesn't have the real terrible effect. The medicine would have already given the child to help with that pain and fever that they're going to go through.
Shireen says, hi Claudia, could you state which brand vaccine did you take?
Only Rachel can remind me. Rachel, what was it? AstraZeneca.
That's what she just said?
Yeah, I don't remember them. I don't even know the difference in them. So I went to the University of the West Indies. It's on the campus side here to go. So you would go through the back gate of the university, Don't go to the hospital. Go on the back gate of the university campus. That's a school now. The university itself. Go on the back gate, just ask the security where you park in the parking lot. And them have the tent right there. Is an easy process. 1, 2, 3, you fill in the form, you go in, give you the vaccine, give you back a card. So we got a vaccine card. It tells me when I'm to go back.
No, just like the one that you get when you're born.
Yeah, which we actually still have the vaccine card.
You know, I'll tell you a funny story. When I started plumbing school a few years ago, they took my card and was checking to see I had all my vaccines. And the nurse says, "Your mom dropped the ball on this one, man. You're missing 3 shots."
Which 3?
I don't remember what the 3. And she's like, "You want to take them now?" I'm like, okay.
You got the shots?
I got a shot.
Oh, I don't remember that. But I'm surprised though that they didn't ask you to bring your card.
Yeah, she had my card.
No, for this shot, for this vaccine.
And just put it on it.
Just put it on it. Cause most of us have that card, you know. And we could have just added to it. So everybody, that's it. All right, let's get into this.
Let me bring it back up.
Janet says, "Congrats for taking the vaccine. I don't like it anyway, but I take it anyway." Good.
You can start.
I can start now. So can I see this big on this screen?
No, this is the biggest this can get.
All right. So the
most I can do is.
So the Property Rights of Spouses Act of 2004. Bring it over here.
Bring what where?
Oh.
It can't be moving. This is a screen. That is what you need to move.
So when I go like this, what's moving?
Nothing.
Nothing.
You move it on this one, I will move here. Use your mouse here. And go like this. And then you scroll.
Oh,
okay.
Jesus. All right, I wanted to give it to you from the original document. That's why I just downloaded it. So you can go to the website and just type it in. Ministry of Justice website of all these acts on there. All right, the Property Rights of Spouses Act. Now, some of you need to, some of you know this, some of you don't. Some of you don't know what it means for you and your family or your spouse. All right, so let's get into it. So these are the different things that it will cover. All right, so let's look at part 1, the preliminaries. So the act may be cited as the Property Rights of Spouses Act. You know, we talk about real estate on this program, so that's why I thought I would bring this to your attention. Now, in this act, cohabit means to live together in a conjugal relationship outside of marriage, and the cohabitation shall be construed accordingly. So cohabit means you live together with somebody, but you're not married, right? So it covers that. Family home means a dwelling house that is wholly owned by either or both of the spouses and used habitually or from time to time by the spouses.
So it could be a vacation house.
So listen, guys. Family home means a dwelling house that is wholly owned by either one of you or it owned by the 2 of you, and it is used habitually or from time to time by the spouses as the only or principal family residence together with any land, buildings, or improvements, appurtenant to such dwellings, house, and used wholly or mainly for the purposes of the household. But it shall not include such a dwelling house which is a gift to one spouse by a donor who intended that spouse alone to benefit.
So like if your parent leave your house.
Yes. Now, remember now, so if I give Tony a house, right? Family home does not include such a dwelling house which is a gift to one spouse by a donor who intended that spouse alone to benefit, right? And remember, it can also be a house from time to time where the spouses live. So if you live in Kingston Monday to Friday and then Saturday to Sunday, you're going to Montego Bay in another house for the weekend, and that is what you do habitually, then both houses are your family house, right? That's what the law is saying.
So If a husband and a wife live in Canada and the husband is Jamaican and he comes out here and buys a Richmond estate and don't tell his wife, that house is still part of the family house? Or she has to have come to the home and use the house.
Live there.
Understood.
So let us say she come every 3 months, or she come every 2 months, and she live there for vacation, and she go back home, and him go back with her, and them come back, and them. Remember, you must be cohabiting together.
Okay.
So marriage includes a void marriage.
So both of them have to use it.
You have to use it. Marriage also includes a void marriage referred to in paragraphs A, B, C, and section of 4.1 of the Matrimonial Clauses Act. That's another act that you need to look at. Did we bring up that section? I wanted to show them that section. It's in the WhatsApp. So we need to look at what this says. Where is it, Tony? The last signal.
No, it didn't need signal. Just that it's moving slow with the signal.
All right, so we're going to see what the Matrimonial Clauses Act says about marriage included, which includes a void marriage. So those of you who know what void means, you should be kind of thinking now, what does it mean by a void marriage, right? Some of you would have probably known because it's in WhatsApp. You probably would have gone through a void marriage. All right, so while Tony brings that up, let's look at the other clause. So property means any real or personal property, any estate or interest in real or personal property, any money, any negotiable instrument, debt or other choice in action, chosen action, or any other right or interest, whether in possession or not, to which the spouses or either of them is entitled. This is still on my screen?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, relevant child. So while Tony's looking for a clause there, which is a matrimonial clause.
You can use the mouse, you know.
The matrimonial clause. I'm not using the mouse because it moves it too fast. Oh. So relevant child means a child who is a child of both spouses or a child of one spouse who is accepted as one of the family by the other spouse. Right? And in paragraphs A and B of this definition, child includes an adopted child and a child of a void marriage. I'm going to look and see what that is soon. You're there now?
I found it in my hand.
You're not able to bring it on the screen.
It's not opening.
All right, so let me read what it says of the, go back to the top. So it says, void marriages are decrees of nullity of marriage may be pronounced by the court on the ground that the marriage is void on any of the following grounds. That is to say, one of the parties to the marriage are the husband or wife living at the time of the marriage. So the marriage is void. The marriage was void under the provision of the Marriage Act or any other laws relating to marriage in force for the time being in Jamaica. Where's the rest of it? This is only part of it. This is only A, B. It has A, B, C, and D. All right, let's move down here. So remember, for this act, these children are also included, right? Now, spouse means a single woman who has cohabited with a single man as if she were in law his wife for a period of not less than 5 years. Read that again. Spouse includes a single woman who has cohabited with a single man as if she were in law his wife, or in fact his wife, in law for a period of not less than 5 years. Spouse also means a single man who has cohabited with a single woman as if he were in law her husband for a period of not less than 5 years, immediately preceding the institution of proceedings under this act or the termination of cohabitation as the case may be. Now, those of you who think as women that we are the only ones who can go and live with a man and then claim this home, his house, as the matrimonial home, and you must get half of it and blah, 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 blah. It works in the reverse as well. All right? It works in the reverse. So a man can come and live with me and he has now cohabited with a single woman, which is me, as if he were her husband, for a period of not less than 5 years. The term single woman and single man used with reference to the definition of spouse include widow or widower, as the case may be, or a divorcee, except as otherwise provided in this Act and subject to subsections 2 and 3 and section 6. The provision of this Act shall not apply after the death of either spouse, and every enactment and rule of law or of equity shall continue to operate and apply in such case as if this Act had not been enacted. Now, 2, the death of either spouse shall not affect the validity or effect of anything done or suffered in pursuance of the provision of the Act. So irrespective of whether I die, the man that I live with as common law can still make a claim, even if I die, right? If while any proceedings under this Act are pending, one of the spouses died, the proceedings may continue and be completed, and any appeal may be heard and determined, and the court may make such an order as it thinks fit in the circumstances of the case, as if the spouse had not died. The provision of this Act shall have effect in place of the rules and presumptions of the common law and of equity to the extent that they apply to transaction between the spouses in respect of property and in cases for which provisions are made by this Act between spouses and each of them and third parties. Now, 5, subject to section 11, any proceedings relating to the property instituted on this Act, the parties to the proceedings may apply. So where the value of the property in dispute is within the monetary limits prescribed by on the Judicature Registrate Magistrates Act to the Registrate Magistrates of the parish in which the property is located, or in which any of the parties reside, or in the case may be to a judge of the family court, or in any other case to a judge of the Supreme Court in chambers, a judge of the family court or resident magistrate court upon the request of either party to proceedings upon an application referred to in subsection 1, hear such application in chambers. I want you to pay attention to this part now. Family home. Subject to subsection 2 of this section and the section 7 and 10. Each spouse shall be entitled to 1/2 share of the family home, A, on the grant of a decree of dissolution of a marriage or the termination of cohabitation. B, on the grant of a decree of nullity of the marriage, meaning the marriage was maybe not consummated, so the judge null and void, right? There is no marriage. Or where a husband and wife have separated and there is no likelihood of reconciliation, except where the family home is held by the spouses as joint tenants. On the termination of marriage or cohabitation caused by death, the surviving spouse shall be entitled to 1/2 share of the family home. Except where the family home is held by the spouses as joint tenants. On the termination of marriage or cohabitation caused by death, the surviving spouse shall be entitled to 1/2 share of the family home. Where in the circumstances of any particular case, the court is of the opinion that it would be unreasonable or unjust for each spouse to be entitled to 1/2 of the family home, the court may, upon application by an interested party, make such an order as it thinks reasonable, taking into consideration such factors as the court thinks relevant, including the following: that the family home was inherited by one spouse, that the family home was already owned by one spouse at the time of the marriage or the beginning of cohabitation, that the marriage was of short duration. In subsection 1, interested parties mean a spouse. So only these people can come now with actions, guys. Not everybody can come to the court and say them have an interest.
Take the screen first.
That the marriage is of short. So in subsection 1, interested party means a spouse, a relevant child, or any other person within whom the court is satisfied has sufficient interest in the matter. So not anybody willingly can come to the court and say, hey, I must get half of the property home, all right? Now, make note that if the court can vary the application of you talking about you want half, if the family home was inherited by one spouse. So I inherited a property from my mother, and a man come there and live with me and then wants to claim half. The court can vary that order. That the family home was already owned by a spouse at the time of the marriage or at the beginning. So I own a house already, and then him come now and live in it. The court can vary the order because I had my house long time before he turned up.
So someone making a comment
that the marriage was a short duration. So you were only married for 1 month. The court may say, hell no, we're not giving you the lady half of the lady house.
What could you possibly claim after 1 month?
1 month. All right. So John is saying, what, John?
Unless both parties come in 50-50, the
asset-rich party must not get married and cohab for 4 years, 11 months. Break the cohab for 1 month. Make sure you have solid proof of the dates.
Yes, John.
Yes, John. Are you going to buy a house with the spouse? Buy a house with the person. Apparently, if you're not married, it's the same. Yes, Maxine. If you're not married, whether you're married or not married, this act covers. Whether you're married or you're not married.
So even if you don't want to put a ring on it.
Yeah, you don't want to put, guys, you don't want to put a ring on it, you still have to go pay. And ladies, you don't want to get married, you still have to go pay. I have a take on this and I'll tell you afterwards. We're out of time yet though.
No.
That the marriage is of short duration. All right. So these people can come and claim. Now 8. Where the title to a family home is in the name of one spouse only, then, subject to the provisions of this act, the other spouse may take such steps as may be necessary to protect his or her interests, including the lodging of a caveat pursuant to Section 139 of Registration of Titles Act. So we're going to look at caveats next week. That's one thing they can do. Any transaction concerning the family home shall require the consent of both spouses. The court may dispense with the consent of a spouse required by subsection 1b if it is satisfied that consent cannot be obtained because the spouse is mentally incapacitated, or the whereabouts of the spouse are unknown, or consent is unreasonably withheld, or for any other reason consent should be dispensed with. Where one spouse enters into a transaction concerning the family home without the consent of the other spouse, then, subject to paragraph B, that transaction may be set aside by the court on an application by the other spouse if such consent has not been previously dispensed with by the court. So you can't just willy-nilly get up and go do addition to the house and don't ask the man permission. Paragraph A shall not comply in any case where an interest in the family home is acquired by a person as bona fide purchaser for value without notice of the other spouse's interest in the family home. Right? So if somebody else buy the house, gone. And the court can sign off on it too. Where by virtue of subsection 3b, a transaction cannot be set aside by the court, the spouse whose interest is defeated shall be entitled to claim out of the proceeds of the transaction the value of that spouse's share in the family home.
Also, you can't contest not selling the house, but you can contest that you must get your share out of the sale.
Because what happened? One person's name may be on the property alone. So it says it. Paragraph A shall not apply in any case where an interest in the family home is acquired by a person as a bona fide purchaser for value without notice of the other spouse's interest in the family home. So the other person can sell the house without you knowing, but when you get wind of it that the family home seller and them put you out on the street, then you can go run to the court to get your reports, right?
And I laugh, but that happened to people.
That has happened, guys. That's happened.
It's
you living in there with the children and the man gone about in business and his name is on the title. And when you take a stock, you get a notice to vacate because the house said. Don't put yourself in that position. Anybody, please. Where by virtue of subsection 3b, a transaction cannot be set aside by the court. You can now claim the value of the spouse's share, which might take you a good while by the time the man needs to have the money. You told it. Money done. You can't get the money. Plus, you're going to put up all this money on a lawyer fee.
Stress though.
Stress. An interest in the family home which is transferred from one spouse to another spouse, or from one spouse to both spouses, or from both spouses to one spouse, pursuant to the provision of this act, shall be exempt from transfer tax under the Transfer Act. So if these circumstances, you're exempt from transfer tax. Agreement. Subject to 19, spouses or two other persons in contemplation of their marriage to each other or of cohabiting may, For the purpose of contracting out of the provisions of this act, make such agreement with respect to the ownership and division of their property, including future property as they think fit. So this is saying that you don't have to run to the court to make the court decide, guys. You, your husband and your wife, or your common law husband and common law wife, come together and you can decide. You take the house of Barbican, me take the house of Jackson.
You got the problem, you can't decide.
Why
because you have vengeance in your heart for the man.
You know why them have a problem?
And you have brimstone and fire burning down. Like,
but you know why them have a problem, Tony? I'm gonna tell you why. Cause one place I'm gonna fight over.
Yeah.
While you're in love and you're married and you're living together and you're cohabiting and you're doing all these things. It's not just children you must produce. Yeah. Produce assets, guys. Produce assets. That way.
Not only that, the child is a liability. All you produce is a liability when you have a child.
Yeah.
Produce some assets.
Produce some assets. That way, when the problems start, because somebody's going to change their mind, unfortunately. Right? Somebody's going to change their mind. When the problems start, you feel a little better. I can tell you. You feel a little better when you can say, all right, John, just take Beverly Hills and me take Cherry Gardens.
I know, which is why celebrity marriages always go so well enough. Yeah. They have lots of
things to share up.
The only thing they're giving up is the sex when they're divorced.
Yeah, and I mean, you can't get that anywhere.
You're not losing much.
Not losing anything. So spouses may, for the purpose of settling any differences that have arisen between them concerning property owned by either of them, make such agreement with respect to the ownership and division of that property as they think fit. That you don't have to run to the court. Without prejudice to the generality of subsection A, an agreement may define the share of the property or any part thereof to which each spouse shall be entitled upon separation, dissolution of marriage, or termination of cohabitation. Provide for the calculation of such share and the method by which property or part thereof may be divided. Right? Each party to an agreement made pursuant to subsection 1 shall be in writing, signed by both parties, whose signature shall, if signed in Jamaica, be witnessed by the justice of the peace or attorney of law. If signed in a country or state other than Jamaica, be witnessed by a person having no authority by the law of such country or state to administer an oath in that country or state. 2, a Jamaican or British High Commissioner or ambassador. So you can go before the British High Command to ask him to sign a document for you want to agree to. As the case may be, or a Jamaican or British envoy, minister, charge the affairs, secretary of embassy, or so much people can sign the document. Not an excuse. Subject to subsection 7, an agreement to which this section applies shall be unenforceable in any case where there's non-compliance with subsection 3 or 4, which is what I just read above. The court is satisfied that it would be unjust to give effect to the agreement. So even after you sign the agreement, there somebody whisper there, you say, oh, you made the man take with the 4 hours, and you only get 1. You can still run back to the court. An agreement made pursuant to subsection 1 by a minor, and every instrument executed by such a minor for the purpose of giving effect to any such agreement shall be valid and effective as if the minor were of full age. Notwithstanding subsection 5A, the court shall have jurisdiction to inquire into any agreement made under subsection 1 and may, in any proceedings under this act or any application made for the purpose, declare that the agreement shall have effect in whole or in part or for any particular purpose. If it is satisfied that the non-compliance mentioned in that subsection has not materially prejudiced the interest of the party, whether it would be unjust to give effect. No. The 2 points I wanted to bring to you are already, I brought them out in it already. We can post this link in the, can you post it?
No.
All right, everybody.
If you have the link to where it actually is online, then I can post that.
Yeah, the link is there. You go back in WhatsApp, it's there. So it's called the Property Rights of Spouses Act. You're going to finish reading it. Those of you, whether you're living together, you're not living together, you're married, you're not married, whatever. Read the act.
Well, someone has an issue.
So I'm going to now look at a case study which relied on this act. We're not going to do the full case study now, but we're going to look at the parameters. So this was in the Supreme Court of Jamaica. And these are public documents, everybody. You can go on the Supreme website Supreme Court website and look at any judgment that was handed down. All right. So this is between the claimant, Tracy, and Lloyd. So Tracy is a claimant, and Lloyd is a defendant. So Miss Jarrett, instructed by Leroy K. Equanio in care of the Kingston Legal Aid Clinic Limited for the claimant. So this claimant actually used the Kingston Legal Aid Clinic, which is the legal aid clinic in Jamaica. If you can't afford an attorney, that is where you go, right? And Mr. Leonard Green and Mrs. Sylvia Edwards, instructed by Chen Green and Co. for the defendant.
Also, she couldn't afford a lawyer, so she went to legal aid, and he can afford Chen Green and Co.
So he went to Chen Green. So this was heard on March 26, 25th, 26th, and September 15. Division of property. Unmarried couple claim for 50% share of property said not to be intended to be a home, although occupied by the family. So when you're reading the act, you're gonna read this and you're gonna look to see if the judge has made a proper decision, right? And we'll discuss it next week. So Miss Tracy Carter, the claimant, and Mr. Lloyd Parnell, the defendant, had a relationship that spanned 19 years. She gave birth to 6 children. First was born 1991. When I was pain in my shoulder.
And vaccine.
Oh, no, my vaccine was over here. And the last in 2001. All of them, she alleges, were fathered by the defendant. All right. During the time of their relationship, land was purchased at Dang Savoy in the parish of Clarendon, and the structure was constructed on it. Ooh, hold on.
Helping?
Hold on. The family resident resided, maybe I need to take a painkiller.
Xander's Panadol.
Yeah, can't take Xander's Panadol. This can't take without food. Anyway, I never take this, guys. But it's gonna put me to sleep for sure. Now, the family resided in this structure, which to this date has not been completed. The parties separated in 2008, and the defendant subsequently got married, while the claimant and some of the children remained living at the property, which has the postal address of New Banks, Chapeltown Post Office. The separation of the parties led to the commencement of the proceedings by the claimant in an effort to secure her interest in the property. So apparently this property did not have her name on it, right?
But she has 6 kids for him.
But she has 6 children, and she's now claiming under this act that we just went through.
That means her last child is what, 8 when she's claiming?
I don't know. I wasn't checking. The defendant has countered this claim by denying that she has an entitlement to this property, which he alleges he bought for the purpose of operating a hardware business.
But they're living in it.
The fixed date claim form, which commenced proceedings, was filed on September 8th, the first hearing on 1st of March. At the time, the defendant attended without legal representation and was afforded time to secure sale. It was not until February of 2011, oh my God,
2 years later,
2 years later, that the defendant attended with his legal representation when the matter had been firmly set for trial. His affidavit in response has been filed September 26th. The claim's fixed date claim form was amended and further amended by the time the trial commenced. In the final amendment, the claimant sought to remedy a failure to comply with provision of the Supreme Court. In Rule 8.1, it is provided that a fixed date claim form must state inter alia the enactment under which a claim is made, if it is being made under an enactment. Thus, it was further amended fixed date claim form, which dated the 6th of February 2013, that the claimant's matter was expressly set out as having been made under the Property Rights of Spouses Act and alternately in common law and equity. So they are relying on this act that we just went through. All right. Let's see how good the act is. Let's see if the law of the teeth. In her submission, Ms. Jarrett noted that this failure was cured by an order of the court allowing her to proceed on this act, and the defendant did not seek to challenge that application. The relief being sought by the claimant against the defendant as set out in the further fixed date claim form and dated February 6, 2013 is as follows. This is what the claimant, remember, it is the young lady who's the claimant, all right? The mother who's the claimant. She's claiming her property rights. A declaration that the claimant is entitled to 50% in all that parcel of land of Dang Savoy in the parish of Clarendon, contained by survey 1 acre, 0 road, 3.2 percent of the shape and dimensions and butting as appear in the plan being surveyed by department number that the property should be sold should not be sold until the last child of the union attains the age of 18. And that the structure, as stated at valuation report prepared by John M. Clark and dated the 3rd day of May 2009, be valued at the current value and the defendant be paid a half of the value. The claimant is to have first option to purchase the property. 4, that if either party is unable to purchase the other shares, the property be sold on the open market and the proceeds of sale are to be divided accordingly after all reasonable deductions have been made, and the claimant shall be at liberty to deduct a sum totaling half the cost of the valuation report from the proceedings of sale due to the defendant. 5, the claimant's attorney at law to have carriage of sale hearing. And 6, that the registrar of the Supreme Court be authorized to sign all and any documents herein if either party refuses to sign within 14 days of being requested to do so. All right, the evidence. There is no dispute that the parties met while the defendant was residing with his mother at the latter's home in Kingston. There is no dispute that the defendant was much older than the claimant when their relationship became intimate. The acrimony that exists between the parties at this time is such that the defendant now challenges her on the issue of her age at the time they met. She said she was 70. He said she was older, as she told him she was old enough and that she was a big woman. He, in his affidavit, said he was of the opinion that she was over 21 at the time. On the cross-examination, he said she told him she was over 19 at the time. There's no dispute that he was in his early 50s. There is dispute as to when the relationship actually started. She said it was in 1989 and they began a common law relationship. He said he met her in 1990. And in 1991, he assisted her in renting a room in Dallas. And it was then that a relationship started. There is no dispute, however, that by December 1991, a daughter had been born to them. There's no dispute that arising from discussion between them, the land in dispute was bought in January 1991. She said they had discussions about getting their own parcel of land to build their own home and started saving whatever funds they had to purchase the land. He said that the claimant did advise him that lands were being sold in Clarendon and that he looked at it because he wanted to do hardware business. He explained that he had bought a minibus from as far back as 1986 and his mother had used his money to buy a truck. It was money he earned from the bus and the truck business that he used to purchase the property. He insisted that the claimant was earning nothing at the time and could not have assisted. She said she worked as a surgeon, and although she did not earn much, she contributed what little she could. This is a very little by the way of documentary evidence to support their case on this issue. However, there is an exhibit of a copy of a receipt dated January 9, 1991, whereby Cleveland offers of Sangsters Heights, Chapelton in the parish of Clarendon, acknowledges receiving $50,000 from the defendant for 1 acre of land situated in Dallas. The claimant signed as witness to the transaction. There is no title exhibit in relation to this property. However, the claimant exhibited a tax receipt and a certificate of payment of taxes indicating that the property has a valuation number and the said property taxes owed on the land for the period 2006 to 2010. The parties are agreed that initially the claimant resided in the premises the defendant had rented. Construction commenced on the structure on the land. She said she assisted even in her pregnant state with the construction. He said she had no need as he had employed a contractor and workmen to do the manual labor. There is serious dispute as to what was being constructed. She said that she assisted with the construction of a house in which they lived. He said it was a commercial structure being built, not a dwelling house. He intended to build and operate a hardware store. By the time the birth of the second child came in April 1993, the claimant said they were given notice to quit the rented premises they had occupied and had to seek other premises to live. She explained how she started raising chicken and doing other jobs to assist in maintaining herself and the children. The defendant countered this assertion by saying that he would keep the chicken for their own domestic use so that their children would get eggs to eat in the mornings and not for any commercial activity. He denies that she was engaged in any kind of employment because he said he always gave her money from his truck and bus business and his pension. He insisted that he provided for all the needs of the claimant and the children. He said she was a kept person. The claimant was challenged on her claim that they were living together at this time. Indeed, the defendant went on to assert that during the entire time, the relationship was best described as a visiting one. He spent most of his time in Kingston with his mother and sent monies and food to the claimant. He exhibited copies of requests for telegraphic transfers made from NCB at its halfway tree branch to remit some to the Chapital branch, payable to the claimant. These are for the period 1994 to 1996 and were for amounts ranging from $700 to $6,500. The claimant insisted that she often had to fend for herself and her children and agreed that the defendant did spend some time in Kingston with his mother. She also agreed that he sometimes sent money to her from Kingston. She denied that theirs was a visiting relationship, although she agreed that he spent weeks at a time in Kingston with his mother, but she thought to explain these absences as being his efforts to avoid certain situations. Construction of the structure at Dang seemed to have progressed very slowly. The claimant explained how she was able to assist in the purchase of materials to build, as she was throwing partner in order to save from whatever funds she earned. She offered us proof of this activity a letter from the banker with whom she threw the partner. While agreeing that the defendant did send her money occasionally, she was not aware of the bus and truck business being his own. She was of the opinion that the business was that of his mother. She did not think the defendant was a good businessman, as she stated how he wasted whatever monies he had. He denied this assertion. The claimant said that in 1999, when they were again given notice to quit the premises they were living at, there were now 5 children, and she said she desperately wished to stop living in the rented premises. The defendant said he gave her $15,000 to find somewhere to live. She denied receiving any money from him, but instead, she said he left her for 2 months with the children for her to find somewhere to go. It was at this time that she decided to take up residence in the structure and the property. She explained how persons in the community, her neighbors and her former landlady, assisted her in fixing up what was to be the bathroom of the house. They moved into it as it was, without flooring, no running water or electricity. The defendant agreed that she moved into the unfinished structure, but said it was without his permission. He said he felt she forced his hand, such that he called in workmen to finish a part of the building with the clear understanding that this would be a temporary arrangement until suitable accommodation was found. It is noted that in one affidavit, the claimant described this room in which they lived as the bathroom, and in another, she referred to it as a kitchen. In any event, she said that after an absence of 2 months, the defendant joined them living in this one room.
It's 5 children.
The living arrangements continued for some time. The claimant said it was in 2003 when she got a job on a construction site, which, along with rearing her chickens and selling eggs as well as selling in the market, enabled her to save some funds. With these funds, she said she fixed up the room. The house she said was at Belcourt site at the time of commencing of the proceedings. The building, she said, as lined out, consisted of 3 bed, 2 bath, 1 kitchen, living room, and a veranda. Whenever she had funds, she would acquire material, pay a mason, and together with the children, continue to work on their home. The defendant claimed to be unaware of these activities being undertaken on the building. He insisted that he lived at his mother's house and visited the claimant on occasion.
He never said the house being full.
He, however, also said he planted fruit trees on the property and raised livestock with a view towards developing the land. However, he insisted it was his intention to do a hardware business and nothing else on the property. The claimant agreed that he did these activities on the property, which she pointed out he could have done if he had lived in, he could not have done if he lived in Kingston. She knew nothing about any intention to construct a hardware business. Oh, you do that with 3 bedroom, 1 bathroom.
Exactly.
And claimed to have first heard about this when the defendant stated so in his affidavit filed in the matter. In the event, the defendant explained that the claimant had taken no part in developing the property. He claimed, while being cross-examined, that he had 2 witnesses waiting to give evidence as to what having done whatever construction was done on the property. Those persons were never called, as there were no affidavits filed for any witness in support of the defendant's case. Witnesses were called on behalf of the claimant, however. 2 persons spoke to the fact that they saw the defendant living on the property. The first, Mr. Wilbert, gave evidence that he always saw the defendant at the house and would often speak and play dominoes with him. On the cross-examination, he was asked if he would see the defendant coming to darks and leave and return, and he said yes. Further, he put it that the defendant sometimes would walk out and seemed to be suggesting that this happened because of friction between the couple. The second witness was a daughter of the couple and, in fact, the eldest child. She declared that she was aware of her surroundings. She was aware of the fact her parents were living together. She remembered him taking them as a child to the bus stop, early in the morning, playing with them and taking them to the river. She did recall his being away at times and said these times he would have gone to his mother's house. She herself went to visit and stay with him at the house sometimes. The defendant was dismissive of the evidence given by the witnesses and sought to ascribe motives to their coming forward to give this evidence. He insisted he never lived with the claimant but visited her at these premises where she continued to live against his wishes. He also almost contemptuously declared how he always made sure they were okay by giving her up to $15,000 per month for grocery so that she and the children were never out of anything to eat.
$15,000 can feed 6-7 people.
Maybe in that century, I don't know. That decade, I should say. But maybe that decade, I don't know.
But children only need something to eat.
No, but 15,000, maybe it could. I remember.
They need schooling.
No, this happened. In 1990, my mortgage was 2,000. Maybe it could have. The claimant also exhibited a report from a John Clark, valuer of Chappleton. The defendant alleged the credibility of the report since he urged that Mr. Clark has not demonstrated that he has credentials for providing the report. The report basically gives a description of the property, right? One other useful information for the report was that it describes a description of a type of neighborhood. It stated that it forms part of a residential farming community of dams. The claimant pointed to this description to further challenge her defendant's claim that it was the intention to do hardware business. In seeking to establish that the fixed place of abode was in Kingston, the defendant relied on the exhibit copies of the request for telegraphic transfer, which showed his address as 15 Grayson Avenue and his bank account being Halfway Tree Branch. The claimant in response exhibited a copy of a hire purchase agreement with a store, which indicates items being purchased by the defendant in 2003 with the address given as New Dance District. Submission. There were no submissions filed on behalf of the defendant. Orders were made from November 2030 for the parties to file and serve skeleton arguments. All right, so the claimant identified 2 issues to be the court determined. What portion of the property are the titles entitled to, and how is that interest to be determined? I'm not going to go through all of that. I'm going to skip now to the actual judgment. What did you think the judge ruled? You know, we did the Properties Act. Do you think she got the half that she was claiming?
Honestly, I'd give her 70%.
I give her the whole thing.
Yeah, because he has, 6 kids for this one man?
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah. And maybe that's why we're not judges, because we would.
I'd give her the whole house, man.
Well, the judge have to be balanced, right?
Yeah. Because as a judge, I would say, did you not intend for your children to have somewhere to live, sir?
No, well, that's not the case here. Remember, what is the law? The law is you must be cohabiting. That's key here. So she has to prove that they were cohabiting. That is all her whole case, you know.
Just to prove that he's cohabiting
with her, because based on this act, this act that she's relying on, she has to prove so them they live together as man and woman. He's saying they didn't live together as man and woman. He lived at his mother's house and he was just visiting. He visited and get a woman pregnant 6 times with no intent of being there to raise the children. Well, that's not, hello, don't cloud the thing. It don't matter if you have an intent to raise the children. Men live with women all the while and don't raise no children. Don't they live in these houses, guys, and don't raise no children? Okay, so question. If I get myself in this situation with this man, right? What do you think I would need to prove that he's living there? Do I need to have the utility bills in his name? What? You need to live there. You need to show that him live there. How you can prove that? You take picture of his clothes. You take picture when him bathing there. Take picture when him sleeping there. The neighbors see him coming and going. So you'd have to get some neighbors now. Well, she did got a neighbor and her eldest daughter. Right. So you have to prove that they live together and do certain things together too. Have a common bank account. You drive out every morning and him carry you to work and you come back and you have to prove in order to prove so you live together with somebody. It can't be difficult. The difficulty she was having was that he kept going back and forth to his mother. But that's whether or not does the court really believe her, you know? I have some questions. No, I want to know. Tell me in the comments. Skip down to the comments. You think the judge, somebody says the average Joe Blow always lose because they do not have the means to fight. Lawyers are the winners in the case. True. This Joe Blow had a good lawyer there, 10 Green and Co. She was the one who had the legal aid.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but
but legal aids are good lawyers too, because sometimes good lawyers dedicate some of their time to legal aid.
So Maxine says yes, she should. So remember what she was claiming, right? She was claiming for the house not to sell till the child reach 18. She must have the first right to buy it. And she must get half of the proceeds when it sells.
I don't think that's a bad thing to ask for.
No, I think she asked everything within reason.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't ask for anything, and she asked that her lawyer be the one who have carriage of sale.
Mm-hmm.
And if they don't sign the document, the court can sign the document.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think she asked for anything that was out of the way or wasn't fair. I don't think so. On the face of it, I don't think so. Go down to these comments, let me see. I hear Xander Rage. Is he hungry? Can't seem to get to me.
Jennifer Jackson says yes. If she has to prove that they're living together.
Yeah, then she should get it. Who else have a comment?
Marcia says good evening, everyone. I'm late. Maxine says need an hour for this court case. 14.
What is it?
Need an hour for the court case.
Yeah, you need an hour.
Yeah.
But guys, the case is important because a lot of you looking to buy property.
Mm-hmm.
The dealer, it says, is she build the house? It look like, yeah, it looks. What if you have a prenup? Remember, this says you can make any agreement that you want.
But
them can also
unfair.
Yeah, if it deems unfair, the prenup deem unfair, then you have to the person can go court same way. Mm-hmm.
But I don't think she built the house because it was up to lintel and then she finished it off.
Then should I help?
Mm-hmm.
And she couldn't live in there without floor, water, light. She'd have to do things to make it better.
Yeah.
For she and her kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think she would have been doing that. I have a good lawyer in respect of all fairness.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's do what the judges rule.
Oh, go ahead.
You have any more?
Yeah, I have a couple questions, but prior to you started reading the court.
You have anything on the case?
No.
All right.
Oh, here's something. But what about the man hardware store? He have to start from scratch because she didn't want to find the next place to live. That's so true.
Well, this teaches you a couple things, everybody, especially the ladies. We're so vulnerable, because we're the ones who get stuck with the children.
Mm-hmm.
So we're vulnerable. So it's important that you organize your living because you don't want to be thrown out with children you're no longer in the prime of your life.
Not only that, it's 6 children.
It don't matter the numbers, it could be one.
Mm-hmm.
But having one 20 is a liability. But it can be a struggle with one child, nowhere to live. The living situation every minute landlord I tell you say I have to move, which is why she had to move. Because the landlord tell her
2 times she moved.
2 times she moved. Right? So what happened now when the children get big and gone? You would hope one of them would have buy your house, right? Mm-hmm. You would pray that one of these children will come now, buy mama a house so mama can comfortable. But sometimes that don't happen. Mm-hmm. So therefore we have to make sure that we organize ourselves and we do it early. So it don't matter if you earn $10 Jamaica or you earn 100,000 America or 100 pound Canada. It don't matter what you're earning. You must buy the piece of real estate that you can afford. Oh God, my shoulder. That you can afford. All right, let me see if I can wrap this. I'm going to take a painkiller. All right, so the order by the court was, it is declared that the claimant is entitled to 50% interest in all that parcel of land of dance in the parish of Clarendon, contained by survey 1 acre and dimensions and buttings as appeared on the survey department. So she did get 50% interest. The property included the dwelling house is to be valued by a valuator to be agreed between the parties. And if the parties cannot agree to a value, the registrar of the Supreme Court is hereby empowered to select one on application of either party. Both parties are to bear equally the cost of the valuation. So if you can't agree upon a valuer, you now come back on a court. The court already empower, right? The court already empower itself to find a valuator. If your attorney can't come to an agreement. We'll go down again, hold on. And 3, The property should not be sold, really, until the last child of the union attains 18 years of age. So the judge is not displacing these children. 4, the claimant is to have first option to purchase the defendant's 50% share in the property. Such option to be exercised within 6 months of the last child attaining the age of 18 years. That's very clear. If either party is unable to purchase the share of the other, then the property is to be sold on the open market. The proceeds of sale are to be divided accordingly 50-50 between the parties after all reasonable deductions have been made. The claimant's attorney at law is to have carriage of sale. The registrar of the Supreme Court is authorized to sign all and any documents if either party refuses to sign within 14 days of to do so. And each party must bear their own attorney costs. Liberty to apply.
Question 1.
Question 1. Justice.
Yay for the lady.
Yeah, justice.
Both in not cohabiting.
In not cohabiting.
And then just have a visiting relationship. Visiting relationship with 6 children.
No, maybe it did. It have nothing to do with the children. Will you stop clouding the tea? You could have a visiting relationship and have no children. And you could have a visiting relationship and have 6 children. It don't take more than 1 visit to get pregnant, Tony.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't. So don't cloud it. The court did this because the court believed that he did live with the lady. Right? And you can read in these documents, the court would have given you their arguments. So above this, I just jumped down to the order, but the court, all of in here, so the court would have given their argument as to why
they think.
Right. Why they think.
First of all, they consider the family home.
Yeah.
The family home.
All right. Let's see if we can.
And on that ground, she's entitled to part of it.
Yeah. Let's see if we can. Oh, I can probably drop Xander's thing in my here and take it.
Yeah. Probably do that. That's your water?
Yeah.
All right. Let's go back to the question. Leon says, out of many, anyone can take you to court and the break it. No, you have a trust, you will be safe. Oh, have a trust.
Anyone can take it to court. What? If you have a trust, you're safe. Okay, great. Yeah, cause you can't mess with trust property. Just why I keep saying, guys, put your things in a trust, right? All right. So I'm gonna take Xander's thing now and see if it will help me on my shoulder. It's gonna put me to sleep though. And I have a meeting, you know. Meeting at 6.
Miss Davis, if any more lots in Cole's Garden, Spanish Town still selling?
Where is that?
Not sure where that is. Cole's Garden, Spanish Town.
Never heard of it. Anything else?
I'm going to. Out of many says, thank goodness for technology. You ladies are awesome. These lessons are so valuable. Have wonderful weekends. I will definitely share your vlogs. One love. Thank you.
Thank you, one love. Thank you.
So we're not sure where Cole's Garden, Spanish Town is, or Fairview, Spanish Town. We know Fairview. That's where we live.
Yeah, I know Fairview Park, but I don't know Cole's Gardens.
I do know somewhere called Cole's Pen, though.
Where's that?
I think it's at the back of where we were. Maxine Bradford, suppose the house already willowed to your children. Can the spouse still stake it? Yes.
Yes. You live with him, of course. Willowed, I mean willowed. You will know, so you will it to your children. Why are you willing it? You must add them name to the title.
Right.
That way, now I'm a little bit of challenge. That's all.
Right.
You might still take it to court, you know. The children live there.
But what you have to do is you have to
get half,
you have to add them name to the title before you go into the relationship with him. That way they're already entitled.
No, before you live. Yeah, before you live in the house with him.
Yeah.
You have to add the name to add the children's name to the title before. Yeah.
Right.
I'll go through all of that. Just don't live with no man.
No, you can't say that. Some people are in love and have beautiful relationships. It's just that the problem happens when it ends.
All right. So the next thing.
You can't know that's gonna end.
Yeah,
so you just have to prepare yourself.
All right. So to mitigate that. So what I would do. So let us say I find somebody now, and we decide we're going to live together. I probably wouldn't get married. I don't see the advantage of the marriage, but I probably live together. I don't even see the advantage of that either. Come to think of it, that's just a lot of work. But let us say I do decide that I'm going to live with someone.
Of course, there's benefits to living with a man.
Yeah.
Like the other day, that lizard nearly run us out of the house.
One
So
lizard?
if we had a man here, that wouldn't happen.
Hold on, let's hold it. Then I'm not gonna call lipstick down the road as a lipstick come take out that lizard. Where you come
It's
from?
weekend, you wouldn't have found
I'm
him.
gonna call Kenan as a Kenan come take out it. Listen, all right. What I would do, we would rent a property. So I would make him live in my house, right?
You know, rent out your house
I'm gonna rent out my house and rent a property
with him.
with him.
And
Or
then,
better yet, before him come live with me or before we live together, I would actively purchase a property, both of us together, purchase a property together.
right,
And that's the property we go and live in.
right. Because he may be a good guy who has intentions to buy a house and everything.
Right. I would buy a property. And I would also make sure someone buy more than one property with it.
So that everybody has something to get.
Yes, so that if it ends, we are not quarreling over one property, guys.
Mm-hmm.
You live with a man for 10 years, you must have at least 3 houses under your belt by that man. Why you only have one place to fight over? I don't get it. So you have to remember that we're humans, right? You're in love today, but tomorrow you're no longer in love. Things change. Silver Book apartment in Kingston. That one I don't know either.
Of course you know it. That's the one Aaron built.
That's not what it's called.
Then what is it called?
I don't know.
It's the one Aaron built. That's
I don't
Silverbrook
know.
Apartments.
I don't know. WhatsApp me and I'm gonna look at it. I haven't looked at it, so I don't know. I have to look at it. So if you're interested, send me on WhatsApp and you have everything ready.
See, they're off Perkins Boulevard.
Oh, is it?
Yes, it is.
I've driven past it, but I've never been inside. I don't even know the square footage. I don't know what is in there. As a matter of fact, it's my good brethren who was the contractor on it. But I haven't been in there since they've been finished. I don't know the finishes. I don't know anything. And I've never even tried to sell one. But maybe I can sell you one now. So over 16 or 116, is it? Are you ready to buy? Send and I'll go on the no movement date.
Was that Wednesday? Yes.
Yeah, Wednesday. I was going to say no fly zone.
Like I had my week planned, and now that he's pushed my week to just Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I feel like I have so much to accomplish in the week.
It is like jammed like this. You know, because even Friday I was supposed to go to Tankwell. I couldn't even get in there. The place full. I was like, what?
I mean, and you're like, what are these people doing for the next no movement thing? Why they need to go and buy things at Tankwell?
At Tankwell. I mean, I need to get some material for a house that I'm doing for this lady. I'm like, oh, this is what this thing bringing now. This panic and this whatever.
The sense of urgency to do everything.
I'm like,
and I'm just thinking, it's end of month, next month, this week coming.
Is it this week? I don't know.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be
it's gonna be rough.
It's gonna be an adjustment.
And I think there's another no movement after that.
Yeah, next week.
Yeah.
It's gonna be an adjustment. But let's hope what they're trying to achieve that they actually achieve.
And my birthday's coming up. No movement.
No movement. September what again? September 2nd.
Yeah, no movement.
Oh, you're not on a movement September 2nd?
No, I don't think so.
Are you serious? No, my movement September 2nd. What date falling on?
Don't even
Depends
know.
on the day. Because the no movement is Sunday, Monday, Tuesday.
Let me see.
So tomorrow, I'll probably just sleep the day out tomorrow. I'll answer the emails and stuff, which is about all I can do. You have any more questions?
Yeah, we
can take phone calls too. But we can't do any showings, everybody. So you just have to rely on my videos and I drive to the location. I've been trying to do that. We have some properties coming out this week. I know Waterford is one of them. Got my diary in front of me. What else coming on? We're doing an update video for Bel Acres. What else is coming? I think we have a property in the country in Goshen. You have a Goshen, a piece of land coming out for Goshen?
Yeah.
Goshen, St. Elizabeth coming out.
Yeah, my birthday is a Thursday, I think.
So that's not a no movement. You can't move up and down. You can buy ice cream and cake.
But I think the curfew is early.
Like, and on top of the no movement, they have a 6 o'clock curfew.
It's like, I mean, you work at 5, there's no time to celebrate
That's
after
like,
that.
I mean, when I go to country and looking at property album, I not even start move till 6 o'clock to come
I
home.
know.
So I'm outside the curfew. Give me some more questions. I'll take the questions up to 5:30 since I actually took up some of your time with me. And thank you so much for staying with us. Take the questions.
All right, let's look at them.
Lots of new baby movement on 9 months from now, of course. We had it in the COVID.
Mm-hmm.
My daughter even had a baby in the COVID.
I know, Xander's a COVID baby.
Xander's a COVID baby.
Okay, the law says,
but we take our blessings as they come.
If you live with a partner over 5 years, once you split, half belong to him and her, unless the court thinks otherwise.
Yeah, unless the court thinks otherwise.
Monica says, such valuable information, Claudia and Tony, you need to publish a book. Yes, Mom, you need to publish a book.
Mm-hmm.
Uniquely says, rough still, if he was mean runner and tell her he can't get to stay at the store, he would have the store. Maybe that's why why some men mean.
Can't examine them.
Come and show your face.
And they're so disruptive. Watch it. Man, he's something else. Don't touch anything.
Say hi to the people, Zan.
He goes for the mic.
To the people. To the people. Puppy. Puppy. You just want to reach for everything, don't it? Any other questions? Anything in the St. Anne's Bay area? Don't trouble the mic. Here.
Brother, Richard, pick him up.
I know.
No, he's gonna go for the computer. You know.
Yeah.
Computer baby. Take him up, or he's gonna disconnect him.
All right, you're not being good.
You're not being good. No, you're not cooperating.
And he moves so fast and he's so strong.
Quicksilver.
All right, see there. Hello, ladies. How much is the down payment on Bellacre? So,
do you have the website with the full closing costs?
I don't think the new ones are there, but the old ones. You
don't have the 11.5 there?
No, just the old ones. It's 200 and something for the closing. I think I have something with it though. Let me see.
So the deposit is 5%. You can also probably try and get 100% from Jamaica National. Let me know if you want to do that. Tony and Rachel is supposed to be testing Jamaica National on that 100% financing. Let's see if I get it. So remember, Jamaica National giving 100% financing to Jamaicans who live here, right? The 6.5% is for anybody, whether you live here or overseas. 6.5%. And the loans go up to age 70. So me at 55 can get a loan up to age 70, so I get a 15-year or 14-year mortgage, right? You want to take that mortgage, like I'm 55 now, I think if I take any mortgages, this would be the very absolute last year that I take on. We'll never ever take another mortgage. Well, this was a 2-bed, 2-bath duplex. It was a 1-bed duplex.
This one was 10.5.
You're showing still information. What would have changed?
The deposit would have changed. And the registration. Everything else would have been the same.
We can share. We need to update this. But so your deposit is 5%. That's about 6 something, I think.
625?
Oh, 575.
575. So
your deposit is not 525, it will be 575 now. The closing cost is the same. The stamp duty is 2,500, which is half of 5,000. seller pays the other half. You do the registration by calculating it as times 0.25 divided by 100. So the new registration will be 28,750. Half cost of splinter title remains the same. The possession letter remains the same. The agreement is the same. The construction agreement is the same. Homeowners agreement is the same. The surveyor's ID is the same. Everything else is the same.
Yeah, just the two things change.
It's just the deposit
and the registration.
So it looks like you're adding 2,500 to the registration, and you're adding 50,000 to the deposit, correct?
Yeah.
So it's 50 and 2,000, 52,500 more. So this figure will be 762,500.
So that's the closing cost.
That would be the closing. That would be your. So your closing costs a little under 200,000, and your deposit is 675,000.
Here's a question. What do you think over the new apartment buildings in Vineyard Town, starting at 17.1 million for studios and 25 million for two-bedroom? Price goes up 500K and 700K per floor. Maintenance cost starts at 18K.
18,000 of an elevator? Most.
Sounds expensive for the area or not really based on how the market going. I'm not sure. Where in Vineyard Town is that?
We're in Vineyard Town. I've seen them, I'm trying to remember. I've heard of that development. I haven't been there, guys. But let me tell you something. The truth is, you want me to tell you the truth? In Jamaica, new construction is going to escalate.
Mm-hmm.
Any new construction you buy, jump in a phase 1 if you ever buy it. By the time Dinner Road, by the time you get to phase 2 and 3,
mm-hmm.
Also, you want to compare it with, is there anywhere else selling for, how much is it? 22?
18 and 25?
18 and 25. You can compare it with any other thing you're going to get for 18 and 25 million on the market now. Chances are you're going to get an older complex.
I think the ones on Perkins are around that price range.
Right. So you're going to compare it with anything else you can get on the market and the location where it is. But new construction on a whole, it's always good to jump in if you're going in for the capital gain, because inflation is going to carry you. So in other words, if you have 18 million park up now in your bank account, you buy one of those new construction. Next year this time, price gone to 18.5, 19. Automatically you would have gained on your 18 million, right? I'm always biased to new construction because I know that Jamaica would live in an inflationary economy. So is the United States, so is Canada, so is England. All of them have inflationary economies. Inflation is built into the system. Why is it built into the system? I don't know, but it is. And that's the world that you live in. So you have to find a way to maneuver yourself through the system. If you don't find that way, you're going to be left behind. The inflation is what caused somebody to buy a quad for 30,000 Jamaican and can sell it back now for $8 million. That's just plain inflation. That's all it is. Nothing else. If the person had 30,000 in the bank, it wouldn't reach 8 million now. So if you have that money, 18 million, you're going to compare it with other new construction and see what else you can get for that. If there's nothing else, then you just buy it. Buy it for the capital gain or buy it to live in. Make the inflation carry you, and then when it carry you, you can sell that and move to something else. This is what I did. So I bought a property in Fairview Park, 200,000 Jamaican, 1990. It inflated right up to 2.6 million when I sold it in 2006. And I actually sold that property. What did I buy? Oh, I finished paying off a piece of land, and then I used the money and finished building a townhouse. So, and the inflation carries again, 2.6 million, don't know how much million, you know. So you have to buy the real estate, new real estate, carry the value. I've never seen new real estate drop in value, carry the value. So, oh, and the earlier you buy, so you're buying a phase one. If you're an investor, aim to buy in phase one. By the time I reach phase 5 or 6, too late. If you're an investor, right?
T-Borrell says I missed a question, but I can't seem to get back to the top of the chat.
17.7. It's in front of St. Teresa Catholic Church. Oh, that's not a bad location. The motherfucker housing scheme down there name and they do very well. Oh, scheme. It's a scheme with single houses in it.
Oh, with the 2 bedrooms?
Yeah.
The orangish color house.
Yeah. Forgot what it's called too. Yeah, man, we can buy it.
Yeah, T-Borrell, copy back and paste your question now. I'm actually looking for it.
Castillas.
There you go.
That's it. Castillas, yes. Thanks, Unique. And that piece of real estate does work very well. Still selling for for money. New construction, guys. New. And remember, buy what you can afford. I mean, I buy Fairview Park. I that me could afford. Couldn't afford nothing at all. So I bought Fairview Park and came back into Kingston. The development did fairly well. Matter of fact, my over here for 200,000 across the street. Those same people bought at 250,000. So right away, I make 50,000.
It's crazy to think that you could years ago buy a house for 200,000. It seemed like such small amount of money now. No. Yeah, and back then you could afford a whole house. I guess that's the inflation.
That's the inflation. So that same 250,000 house is now selling for 15 million, unimproved. But that's just inflation, everybody. Nothing else. Which is why you buy the real estate, because you want something to keep your value, right? Mm-hmm. Because the inflation is going to erode your value. And the value where you think you did have, the money in the bank or in your partner, wherever, it's going to erode it. I need to look at the bread bag. It's the bread that make me know how much inflation around in the bread bag. I need to bring one and show them. You just take off a piece of the bread bag.
You did show them.
Yeah, but I need to see what it is now. Show you that the inflation still around.
What was the last time you showed it?
I think it was 380. So?
I can't remember.
Richard, bring me a bread bag to all your feeding dance.
Mm-hmm. Nice. I can't find T-Borrell's question. I can go back to it. I'm not sure what's wrong with the chat, but it doesn't allow me to scroll beyond a certain point.
Or maybe you have too many things in the chat.
Too many questions, so it started archiving them already. I don't know.
Look like Xander medicine work fast.
Hang on.
Yeah, it's slow down.
Oh, that's good. All right.
Not shooting that before.
T-Borrell, I'm waiting for you to repost the question.
Or anybody else can post a question. We're still here. We'll answer it. My sister thinks Jamaica housing market soon crash because it's getting ridiculous. I don't really think so. Your thoughts? No, I don't think so unique. So that's in the 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s. No, we're not 2021. We don't see that yet. What causes a crash though? We have had crashes already. So we had the crash in the 70s. That was a crash with when government was changing and then talking about communism.
Here's a question.
So hold on. We had that crash. Of course, housing prices went up. People are selling out. We also had a crash where the stock market crashed too. That's 80s. Mm-hmm. In the 90s, we had another crash. That was FinSAC. We call it FinSAC. But it's Financial Sector Restructure Development. That's what it means, Company Limited. That was when interest rates went so high that people couldn't even pay their mortgages anymore. So they couldn't pay the mortgages and the banks sued people, take all the people and property and blah blah. Hell happened. We also had another crash with Olinton Cash Plus Saga when we had these people were getting these high interest rates, 10% every month. People were selling out them car and them house and this and that to put the money on that crash. That thing. And we had the pandemic. So every decade we have something happening, right? Mm-hmm. Just depends on which part of the market you're in. So the people in the high income market, so I don't go up there. Mm-hmm. Now look at property for buy for 60 or 100 million. Those properties tend to drop in price first. Mm-hmm. The liquor property, them don't get somewhere 2 million and 3 million. Them property don't have nothing for you to take off. You understand? Besides, We have National Housing Trust, which tends to keep those properties selling. So you have robust movement in that side of the market. So people have properties in Portmore, Spanish Town, St. Andrew, under, I would say under 15, 20 million in Kingston. Even under 50 million properties still sell at Kingston because of demand. But there's always a section of the market, and if you're an investor or you're a real estate agent like myself, when I came in 2008, there was a crash with Finsac and Olin Saga. And I picked my target market as Portmore Town because that's the lower income sales were and the NHT sales were, and that's why I chose that target market at the time. We're actually going back into Portmore now, which is why I have the Waterford. So we're now targeting again Portmore. That's our niche now. Portmore and Spanish Town is back on our list as one of our niche markets. So you're going to see us sending out more stuff from those areas. And if you have property in Portmore and Spanish and you want to get it sold, you call us. Don't be afraid to call us. We are the best thing since sliced bread in a Portmore and Spanish Town. We get your property themselves fast and we sell for top dollar, right? We don't give away properties. I remember one of the first quads I got to sell in Portmore, 2.8 was the value. And a man came and offered 2 million cash. I told him no. I said, no, my client's property is valued at 2.8 million. And that's what I'm selling it for. And he said, yes, you're not even going to take the offer and it's cash. I said, no. I said, cash, check, anything.
As long as it's 2.8.
2.8 million. Come back to me with that. And that time, me a young agent, just a start out, much less now. No, not happen. So I love working for sellers because when I'm selling, this is me selling my property and you're not going to come and lowball me. Don't bother with it. If it value that, that's what you're going to pay, right? So sellers, those of you who started out in Portmore or Spanish Town, you might want to think of realigning your properties now. You might want to say to yourself, I've outgrown this property. Another test is, so like I had a property in Spanish Town. So if I still had that property, my test would be, if I leave this for Xander tomorrow, would he think this is a property that he needs to sell real fast? Because, oh, my grandma leave this. What is this? You know?
Oh, here's a question.
Right? So you that's a test, is as to whether you realign this property now, get maybe a new mortgage or join with your older children or say to them, hey, I have this property in Spanish Town or Portmore. I can get net 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 million. Can we take this 10 million net, put it with a loan that you can get and buy another property that's more relevant for the grandchildren who will inherit, or even for you, like Tonya, who will inherit. So you look at that, right? Don't hold on to the property for infinity. And then your children just come and say, Miss sell it, man, not good. Sell it. You know what I mean? No, don't do that. Enjoy it. Enjoy the proceeds in your lifetime.
T. Burrell, a friend has a property co-owned with daughter. Shortly to marry. Sell current house and build with title in same name. Will new husband have a legal right to new home, although not in his name?
If he lives there, yes.
Yeah, once he lives there. So they're gonna what? Sell the property
So
and
a friend has a property co-owned with his daughter. Shortly to marry. So he's gonna sell the current house and build with the title in the same names. That is his daughter and him. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
The same two who selling now when billing their name. Will the new husband have a legal right to the new home, although not in his name? Only if he lives there.
Only if he lives at the premises.
As the premises, as what do you call it?
Cohabitant.
Cohabitant.
Plus, if your new friend is gonna be living at if your friend is gonna be living at the new property, then he would be in occupation of the property. Then the spouse wouldn't have rights to it, because that would be his family home.
Which spouse wouldn't have access?
The wife's spouse, even though her name is on the title.
I don't understand. How you get wife? So, okay, so a woman and a daughter own a property.
You and I.
Yeah, we're sell the place and we're gonna build a new house.
Right.
You are gonna get married. You have will you have a legal right? It was saying it, you know. It was saying it. If it is owned by,
what are you trying to get to?
You're not supposed to try to get back to the act.
I don't think my husband would have a legal right to the property unless my husband and I were using the property as a family home.
If you live together as a family home, still I think you have a right, you know. Where's because
you would be a third party with a definite interest in it.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Where's the act? Find it back. I think the act did say that if it's owned by somebody else, somebody else's name is on it, that might be tricky. Somebody's asking us to answer a question. This is Deborah, but we're not seeing it, Deborah. If you post it back, say jump up in front of us now. What areas, look into the return there. What areas? Ingleside. Somebody who live in Mandeville. Tell him what in Mandeville areas he can live in. Ingleside is a nice area.
What's that one? Starts with, is it B?
I'm trying to remember them. I know Ingleside because I know Ingleside is nice. Not Patrick, not bad either. No, not Patrick too. Cedar Grove, not bad. Not the upper part of Cedar Grove. The stush part of Cedar Grove.
The stush part. Why can't I come out of this? What is happening?
So this thing over here, isn't it on this side?
No, it's here on the left and then it.
She's posted by the question. Okay. Hold on. Not Patrick, yeah.
Will new husband, where's the question? If anyone gives up a 3-bed Bellica, how can I be informed so I can apply?
We don't have any 3 beds in Bellica. We have 2 beds.
Bellicas are 2 bedrooms.
2 bed, 2 bath.
2 bed, 1 bath.
2 bed, 1 bath. Natalie. Is that Natalie? Michelle
Moody.
Well, you can do your expansion of 3 bed.
Here it is.
But what you can do is WhatsApp me. WhatsApp me and Natalie, let me know you talk to me on YouTube. So that we can put you on the list if anybody drops it.
Dwayne wants to know, does Airbnb a good investment? I'm thinking about it.
Where? Airbnb, where? Airbnb was in the heyday. You have to wait until the tourism industry come back. Or you build your own Airbnb. So listen now.
Or make it unique.
Airbnb. Some people just put up Airbnb and leave it. Remember, you have to do your own marketing, guys. You have to. You can't just rely on Airbnb. A whole heap of people look for Airbnb. But you have to do your own marketing, your own niche marketing to get the people into your property, all right? Let me see if I can't find it.
It wasn't the part where anybody who has an interest.
Right.
When you were saying others, child. Marsha, if you have a blended family, do you recommend putting all the children on the title? Oh yeah, Moreland is a good place too.
A blended family. You should. Meaning the man have 2 and you have 2.
And then you and the man bought a house
together. Yeah, you should. Everybody's entitled.
Yeah, adopted children.
Adopted. They said it. Children who you bring in.
Here it is.
A relevant child. All right. So the court may, upon application by an interested party, make such order as it thinks reasonable, taking into consideration such factors as the courts think relevant, including that the family home was inherited by one spouse, that the family home was already owned by one spouse at the time of the marriage or the beginning of cohabitation, that the marriage is of short duration. So,
interested party means a spouse, a relevant child, or any other person within whom the court is satisfied had sufficient interest in the matter.
So if Tony's husband come there and live, I guess he could claim, but the court is going to look at it to see we had a property before, and it's that property money that we use and build this house.
Yeah.
So this your spouse never had no money in it. So the court might only give him 10%, as I've seen them do. The moral of the story is though, what's the moral of the story, somebody?
Secure your interest in your assets by having your name on the title. What's the moral of the story?
The moral of the story is
Buy your own house.
yeah. If you're going to live with somebody, both of you buy a house together and live in it. If two persons are on a property, tenants in common, but one person dies but doesn't have children or a will, what happens to their half of the property? It goes to their estate. It don't go to you automatic. No, unique. Need 27. So it doesn't go to you automatic. It goes to the estate. Maybe we should do that next in our wills and estate and house.
Why can't this thing just go?
It don't go to you automatic. It goes to the other person.
T. Burrell says, no children living at the house, just woman, aged, and new husband. She is trying to protect their inheritance. Husband has his own property, and they both have wills. Oh, so they live at the house.
I met my husband with his wife, with his house. It says here that the court is going to take into consideration. Read that question at the bottom, so you can scroll.
I met my husband with his house. Am I entitled to half?
Maybe not half. The court is going to think to take into consideration that the family house was inherited by one spouse, and the family house was already owned by one spouse at the time of the marriage. As a matter of fact, I know a case like this, and the person only got 20%.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't get half.
You should probably try and buy your own house or buy a house with your husband.
Buy your own house.
Yeah.
Buy your house. Buy a house. You have no excuse not to buy a house. If that person if the person you're living with bought a house and they are paying the mortgage and paying the light bill and all these things, then take your money and buy a house.
What do you think about this one though with T. Burrell? No children living at the home, just a woman, aged, and a new husband. She's trying to protect their inheritance. Husband has his own property, and they both have wills.
She's trying to protect whose interest?
The house that she lives in.
No, what you trying to protect?
She wants to leave the house to her children, but she's living there with her new husband. Make him write a letter saying that he has no interest in the property.
Yeah, signed by JP.
Yeah.
Notwithstanding, he can still go to court. The court will consider it. Remember?
But, yeah.
And it would think that you're right. The court can still say, hey, that's not just.
Yeah, but in this case, he has his own house.
He has his own house.
Right. So he really don't need the woman's house.
So why isn't she living in his house though?
I don't know. They're collecting some good rent off it that they're using for the family income.
Ingleside is expensive. And when I was in high school, I worked in a house there. It's only expensive if you can't afford it, Dr. D. Remember, I tell you what my granny tell me now. But not my granny, my grandaunt, Aunt Dolly. Aunt Dolly was from England, and when I was boxing around about the place, my father threw me out. And in my last stop, I landed at her house. And she was a pensioner. We used to go collect pension and we go shopping in a supermarket and these things. I would always say, Aunt Dolly, oh, the things I'm so dear. Oh, things I'm so dear. You know, in Jamaica, that we say, right? When I say expensive, we say dear. And she said, Claudia, you don't have any money in your pocket. Everything is going to look dear and expensive because you have no money. Which is true. So even if it's a sweetie for $1, as long as you don't have any money in your pocket.
Marcia says, but it's our marital home. Been together for years. Well, you just have to
so what's the question?
No, she wants to know if she's entitled to half of the house.
Well, you just have to prove it. Yeah, as this lady did in the case, in her case, in her But when would your own time you would want, that is if you're divorcing.
Right, so just live good with your husband,
Yeah.
and this won't be a situation.
Yeah, the only time that this comes.
Or what you might want to do if your name is not on the title, what if you outlive your spouse? You want to make sure you're entitled to the property.
Add your name.
Yeah.
I don't even see why your name would not be on that property right
He had
now.
it before they got married.
And it's easy to add your name to. Does he have other children who could get this property? He probably doesn't want to add the name. But he could add your name and say you get 50% and the other children get the rest. That could be part of it too, what they add the name.
Leon wants to know if the child name is added to the title before you get married, and then the other half do not have any ownership to the house, joint tenants. Technically.
Everybody.
But the court has to decide, is it the intention that this was the family house?
Is it the intention? Listen, everybody.
It's up to the courts and a good lawyer.
And a good lawyer. Which is why you don't get yourself in this kind of a predicament from before. You do what Auntie Claudia said. You meet a man or the Uncle Dory, before they talk about ring, I'm going to spend how much millions for go before whoever for go get married. You say, baby, house we're dealing with. Right? So the money that we're going to spend for marriage and all these things, may I tell you now, just take the money as a deposit and don't buy a house for living as a matrimonial home.
All right, Marsha says he has other children.
Right? That's what you do. Don't displace other families and other people and go live in this house with him and him have other children and the other wife was there before and oh my God, it gets so sticky.
Yeah, it gets sticky for the new wife. That's who it gets sticky for.
Yeah, it gets sticky for the new wife.
Yeah.
So
you have to secure yourself, man.
Don't do it. Buy a house for you and your husband living in. So when in the court and the dating, remember me telling you one about this, the date must not at the hardware store. The date must go at the open house them and that's the date them for them. The date now if in a restaurant I eat up lobster and crab or whatever and then I flip credit card and I buy a big lobster and whatever. No. The date must in the hardware store. Go look on land, go to the open houses, that's the date. And you buy a property together. So that when you're married, you're moving into full property.
Yeah.
The two own this, and every 5 years, the two buy an next house. That way, when somebody change their mind, 90% of the time, somebody ever change their mind. That's a reality. That's a world that you live in. You can genuinely say, you know something? It's not work out, but I'm happy still. Come and get 2 hours. I never waste time. Which it come down to that. Some women get bitter and men get bitter because you're wasted time and you don't have anything to share up. So you focus on this whole messed up thing with the relationship instead of focusing on how can we split up amicably. And it's because you don't have anything to share. Why you're fighting? If you had something to share, everybody would have focused on that and it wouldn't be some problem. Would you advise your son to pay?
God, don't it? Made it go so quick.
Do you need to hold on, guys? Stop with the question. Alright, Claudia, do you need to use a lawyer to add your children to the house title? No, you don't. You can go fill out the form, get it signed by a JP, and submit it to the titles office. Go on the NLA website. The forms are there. Maxine says, get a realtor. Yes, everybody remember that we're realtors, so we can look for property. Miss Claudia, how does one purchase a house every 5 years? Oh, Michelle, that's so easy. That's not difficult.
If you're focusing on it, you can.
The first one is the hardest. The first property that you buy, and most persons here can attest to that. The first one is a stress thing.
And the thing too is when you're buying suppose you go to the bank and the bank says you can get 30 million in mortgage and you're buying your first property, don't buy a property for 30 million.
Yeah.
That's the first thing.
That's the first thing. Don't buy the place up to the hilt of your pre-approval. Right? That's the first thing.
You're probably looking for a $15 million property at that point.
Yeah.
No, so that in 5 years' time, and you get pay increase and stuff, you still have the ability to get more mortgage to buy a second property.
But not only that, even if you use up all of your money up to the hilt on the pre-approval, which had happened to me when I bought the first place. We couldn't even afford it. Somebody had to join with me. Richard had to join with me. So, or Richard had to co-sign with me. So, what you do? You hone your skills. That's important. That is the key now. So when I bought my first house, I was a telephone operator. You understand? Me can't be the same telephone operator 5 years from now. I want to buy a next house.
No, you have to get management now.
Yeah, let me get assistant manager and some big work. You have to hone your skills, everybody. You have to make yourself marketable in the work environment. That way your pay raise. So by the time 5 years come, when you pay, when your loan on the house, you have $2,000, you can afford an next mortgage because your pay would have increased. That's how you do it every 5 years. You can probably do it 7 to 10 years span too. And the only way you're going to do this every 5 years is if you buy a house straight out of school.
Yeah.
Now, I'm telling you that. If you wait till you reach 55 to buy your first house, you're not buying no more.
Even if you wait until you're 30, kind of hard because you have so much other expenses.
Yeah, you wait till you're 30 to buy your first house. Forget that too.
So much expenses.
Yeah, so you have to buy this straight out of your university, your very first job. My first job was stuffing envelopes I bought. But
like I'm so glad my NHT mortgage is finished.
Man!
Yeah.
And you know that was not the most stressful mortgage. It was a baby mortgage.
Yeah, it was.
You also, with your pay increase, you have to accelerate the mortgage and get it out of the way. So you're not paying so much interest. Remember, I showed you how to use a loan amortization calculator, right? So you may start out at $2,000 this year every month. You have to pay $30,000 every month. You want to accelerate that like it's a 5-year mortgage you have to pay. The only way to do that is to start your hustling, you're buying and selling so you have extra cash, or work and get your pay increases, right? Now, I tell you, I did not step into a university until after I was 30. So my children think them have an advantage because they went to university straight out of high school. But they didn't have an advantage. They only had the advantage because of me. And I was able to say, no, this is what you're going to do now. You're going to buy a house, you're going to do this, you're going to do that. They never have me. They would end in the same boat like a lot of you who spend their money on clothes and shoes and run up and down here and there.
And once you get into that cycle,
it's hard to break. Very difficult. You become an addict, right? So you want to become an addict in buying a house first. That's what you do. So like me, because I bought my first house so young, I became a house addict. I was looking. I remember when I lived in Fairview Park, I'm a girl. College, I go for Green Acres in the 20. Why Green Acres? What? And I property Green Acres. I went as far as this place named, what name? Out of Maypen, Twin Palms Estate.
I remember.
You remember?
Those days.
Rachel's father, when I was dating him, was in drive. Me always I look for real estate. Always I look for house.
It's funny when how we didn't look at properties in St. Andrew.
We didn't look at St. Andrew because we're in Spanish now.
Yeah.
I looked at Angels. I think Angels gave people them fridge and stove. One of them they come and give fridge and stove.
I remember one we started giving water tanks. I just thought it was the biggest thing.
Yeah. Now I get everything. I don't have no excuse of a bad place. And you get more help now too. Then back in those days, you never had that much help. You only
not only that,
so
you have YouTube where there's so much free information happening.
Yeah, so much. You have 100% financing. Literally only need 2% to pay JN for them loan or whatever. Guys, you have no excuse. You have all the opportunities. You have all the properties to choose from. And
there are more properties to choose from.
There are more properties now.
Yeah, there are more developers in the marketplace. And properties are so much nicer.
So much nicer. So much better. I haven't seen a house yet. When I went to, and Tony's going to show you the video of the 5.5, the St. Catherine one. I looked at other videos and I even looked at the picture when they put it on the website. I didn't like it. I was like, oh, what is simply? But when I went to the location, I actually went into the house. I said, but them never do this house no justice.
Nah, it looks better in person.
It looks better when you visit. And I hope Tony's videos will highlight and show you really what this property, the Catherine Estates looks like. I am so happy for those of you who were chosen for the Catherine Estates, because I know all of you who want a Catherine Estates, that's what you can afford, the 5.5 ones. Like, there's nothing else on the horizon for that kind of a money. The
It's not a bad
myself,
location
though,
too, because it's close enough to
everything.
to town. Yeah.
As a developer myself, I'm a young developer though. I wish I could just get a piece of land and really just build those price units for persons, because I know it's a serious challenge in this country.
Yeah, but that's the government's job. That's what they should be doing, sending out affordable homes. And government is the largest landholder. They should be producing
They should be producing it. They are the largest landholder, NHT, housing agency, the whole of them sit down for a whole heap of land, down to the pension fund where them force me to put my money in every month, the NIS, National Insurance Scheme.
I think they're doing a little better, but they need to do more. They need to just focus on what people can afford in that 6.5 range and just produce the property.
Just produce those. Yeah. Produce, guys. That's the only thing I think government has.
And then leave the developers to do the other properties.
And leave the developers to do the more expensive middle class and upper class properties, right? Lower income should be National Housing Trust, Housing Agency of Jamaica, those people, and the people who own lands like National Insurance Scheme should partner and get those properties. Get the properties built, man. Stop the rubbish, really.
Even if it's just little studio houses, just bring them over.
No, that's how we want them to build. Yeah. Just a little thing them like the Catherine Estates or the quads. Want to give people the lands, then we do them thing. And make them in a mansion. And besides, what you all do remember, like when I bought my first house, you get help. Help come. Like my mother sent barrels. So therefore I was able to save up my money. Right? You get help.
Yeah, like where did we get a bed from?
Rachel father dropping on the picture. And him bite.
Right.
Some get help. You understand? Help come. Once you put your foot forward, especially when it comes to buying a property. We can't tell you. The help just comes. It's like everybody happy for you and then want to see you have this property, and you just your whole family rallies around you.
But I think some people really collude with it though. Like they don't put themselves out there to get the help. Like the world is against them. And really the world wants to help you.
The world wants to help you. And another thing you should know is that we're looking at another project in somebody asked us the next project. So we're looking at the next project in St. Catherine, right? Another thing, ladies, I'm saying this strongly to the ladies, very strongly, listen. You meet a man, you love him, whatever. You have children, whatever. Man not pulling him weight, I beg you, walk out. I'm begging you, walk away. When you walk away, you're going to get help. I'll tell you.
Yeah, because they're not going to help you with the man there.
No, nobody's going to help you.
But she have a man.
Yeah. I mean, what? Does she have a man? What she have her man? Remember, we only live for a short time. I just the other day, me 16. I walk up and down in my B-rider shorts and my fishnet stocking, and I go a squeeze and stone love.
It's crazy to think that I remember.
You remember those fishnet stockings? Yes, I'm a weak Tony.
Who used to leave to watch you while they go party?
That was we were catching the Linders Road, man. Wendy and Lucia and Pucci. But guys,
so Miss Monica used to watch me.
Yeah, man. Guys, remember, you're only young ones, right? For women especially, the beauty only is for time.
I feel like as women, we age quicker than men.
Yeah, I feel so too. We age quicker.
I mean, by the time a woman reaches 50, she's aging. A man don't age until they reach 70.
Yeah. Folks still look good. Huh? Not a stress. I guess not a picnic for being.
Not only that, a man at 70 can date a 25-year-old. It's very hard for a woman at that age to date a 25-year-old. Very hard. Very hard.
She'll be crazy. I'm just with her for the money.
But either way, you're just with them for the money.
Yeah,
but it's very hard to get to that point.
Yeah. And we 17, I'll find a man to take care of you anyway. Yeah, which man I gotta take care of a 70-year-old woman. So women, you have to understand that in this game called life, we have to protect ourselves and we have to be smart, right? We have to ensure that we're bringing children into this world, and you always have to think to yourself. I always thought to myself, I'm the only one with my children. I never ever expected any man to help me. If they did, then it's a bonus, and I'm happy for the bonus, and I use a bonus and I multiply it, right? Ladies, I want you to be independent or be codependent with a man, but totally not dependent. Forget that. That's not going to work in your favor. All right? You must organize yourself so that you have some level of independence and you can take care of yourself, you can take care of your children. One of the things in being independent is that I come here every week and I say it. No matter where this property is, you must buy a house for yourself, guys. You must buy a house for yourself as a woman. Men don't buy houses, they buy a car. You say to him, say, baby, I want to buy a car. My baby father, they say, I want to buy a car. Let them there with your people, clock. But if this house thing is a strictly woman thing. It's you all clean the house, you all take care of, you all plant the flowers, everything. Down the Tony. So you all pay the light bill, make sure the mortgage pay, you all do all of that. So organize yourself. Another thing I need you to think about, I get a lot of phone calls from women especially. I hardly get calls from men about houses, women buy houses. And they're looking for a house, but they have them 6.5 NHT. And I say, you're going to join with your spouse? No, Miss B. I'm not join with him. So you have children? Yes, I have children. I say, for the man? Yes. You live with the man? Yes. The man have a job? Yes. Really?
You have a job?
You have a job? Yes. So why are you trying to do this by yourself? If you buy the house by yourself, the man still going to live there, you still have to go leave off.
I know, right?
That was it. So I don't understand on a woman, on a thinking, on not think.
Because they're late.
Look as in, oh, you just come. Look as in, you miss everything. No, if you live with the man, no, for 4, 5, 6, 10 years, have 2, 3, 4, 5 picnic together, live in our rentals. And on have an NHT all long the tone of work and a hustle and a pay rent and a take care of each other and the kids and everything. And you determine you're ready to buy a house now. So why you call Miss Davis behind the man back and I say, Miss Davis, I want to buy it by myself, you know. I don't want him know about it. Why you do that?
Is she planning to move out and not let
the man not gonna follow her? Which man shall go move out and go buy a house and carry the man picking them go with her and go about her business? He's gonna follow her. The only way he doesn't follow her is if he did move out and gone her. And as she one, there is a no one. But as long as them live together, and it's as far as I'm concerned, them have a good relationship, man. Them do them thing. Ladies, I wanted to reconsider that you when you're calling me that you want to buy a house, I wanted to reconsider and have a conversation with your spouse. No, you don't drag your spouse to every place that me and you ever look for. Right? You come preliminary and look at the properties and you narrow it down and then you go back to him and say, baby, 2 places and make we choose one. And you get him letter from him company, you get him in pay slip, you say, baby, how much you have in your bank account, and that you're supposed to know. If you don't know that, you're supposed to know it. Get in your bank account, know how much you have in your bank account, how much you have in your bank account, how much partner draw and have a collect and so on, put it together. Yeah, you get 1 hour overtime tonight, Maxine. So you need to call, when you're calling me, ladies, I need you to have the conversation. Oh, Lucas said you were asleep.
No, Lucas is a girl.
Lucas is a girl. Keep thinking Lucas is a what? Lucas, hi, Lucas. I need you to have a conversation with the man that you're living with. In Jamaica, we tend to have a lot of common law. We might have more common law relationships than marriages, don't?
Maybe the marriage rates have fallen.
Right. So I need.
And there's nothing wrong with common law relationships. You just have to know what you're in and make it work. Make it work for you.
You contact me. Somebody asked about Seaview land. You contact me. We just sold out a whole heap of Seaview land at Hills of Draxall. Beautiful property. Beautiful. If you get one of them, you know.
Somebody just lost their property to adverse possession.
Who that?
Look up at the top. Yeah, see chart.
You can't scroll?
No, the scrolling's not working.
Who lost it? Jennifer. Yes, it's becoming business. My friend fell victim to this. Came from London too late for her father's house. No taxes paid for 14 years. And she lost a 12-bedroom house in Ocho Rios. That's what I'm talking about, guys. Very sad. Very sad. Thanks for that, Miss Dial. Very sad.
Take it serious, people.
Adverse possession. And this is why you need to also let your children know where your properties are, guys. Come on. If you migrate and you leave property in Jamaica, you need to bring in the kids in it. Those children that you have overseas, bring them in, let them know. And one of the worst things you can do is make family live at your house without parents. You have to make them pay some rent. Or them know that, hey, this is not for you alone.
I mean, don't make family live at your home.
No,
they're the hardest persons to get out at the end of the day because
Yeah.
they think that you owe them something.
Yeah. We're just dealing with one right now, too. And if you ever see the state, them leave to play the woman also, you know. So, Miss Dan, so weddings are too expensive. Exactly. That's why I'm in a night with them. Prefer buy a piece of land. I'm gonna buy one ring for $1 million.
You know,
there's
there's
$1 million I walk up and do it for my finger.
There's this reality show called, what is it called? It's when you either buy the house or use the same money and have a wedding. And you know, most of the couples, it's 10 episodes, and must the 6 out of the 4 couples chose wedding.
Chose wedding?
Wedding.
They're crazy.
Wedding that you couldn't believe it.
And listen to me, you women. When your man come to you and say, baby, me could buy a house. Nobody gonna tell the man about get married first. Nobody with that. Buy the house together. That's what you do. Right? Zanake says some parents like to keep their things secret. It's like you have to cut off their fingers one to get the information. That's so true.
That's so true.
That's so true.
But I think it's the older parents.
Yeah, them can't do that.
They want to because they think their children shouldn't know.
No, man, you must make your kids know, man. If you plan, yeah. Oh, but yes, we're soon gone, Tony.
I think they're watching too much date night.
No, but we're soon gone. And that's one of the things I try to do. Everything, my opinion, them know everything about me. Literally. If I drop out tomorrow, them can't function because everything them know what to do. And I preach it every day, I tell them.
We wouldn't be able to function without you.
Of course, you have to function without me. Brittany girl said, yes, girl, go to the bank. Don't be scared. Don't allow no one to pay your taxes. Dangerous game. They may be, yes, don't allow anybody to pay your taxes. You shouldn't have to know because remember, it can be paid online. Remember, we showed you how to pay that. Just type in property tax Jamaica, the portal comes up, right? And you pay it. So, some parent, yeah. Any more questions? I think finish all the questions, right?
I missed some. Oh, the scrolling is not working.
Oh, we can't scroll. All right, so those of us in Jamaica, we on no movement D. Might have to order food from out. You can order your food though. And to bring it, everybody will bring it. So banking still work tomorrow. So does education, so does health.
But how are you gonna use the bank tomorrow if you can't move?
There's some people in education, I help to use it. No, you can't phone call, I guess.
We call the bank.
Call the bank. There's another phone call them I get wicked tomorrow.
So they ever check the lodge? There's a courier service from the Scotia coming that indoors to collect the checks and those things.
I don't know, sir. What does it mean to put your house in a trust? Now that we're trying to get a lawyer to come in, but you don't trust, I live in trust. So you set up a trust company and put it in a trust. I'm looking into that too, so I'll tell you when I get the parameters sorted out. I've added my daughters, thanks to Claudia and Tony. I've added my daughters to everything.
Marriage or mortgage, right? Marriage or mortgage.
Oh, good Miss Dora, good Miss Dora. Yes, add them. Maxine. What Maxine said? Good morning from the UK. Good morning.
Yeah, it's past 12 now in the UK.
Oh, it's past 12 from the UK. Oh, Tony, you had more questions? Michelle Moody. Okay, Miss Davis. All right, guys. So we can't, for some reason, we're not accessing the questions. You want us to answer anything else, you have to put it back in the chat. And those of you who have children, maybe that's one of the reasons why I never got married enough. Because I bought my house young. I had Tony at 17. I bought my house when I was 23. It was hard for me to think of if I could get married. Then I would end up leave. It's just a struggle. You have children before you get married. You need to protect your children. Figure it out. And if you're married and you're separated with your wife and you have children from that wife, you need to figure out the how you're going to, or your children inherit, right? So, figure it out. Don't leave it messy.
Yeah, don't think it's something you can do later. Try and figure it out now.
Yeah, don't think, figure it out. So true, Maxine. Buy what you can afford.
876-292-6776.
Now, my motto is buy what you can afford until you can afford what you want. Don't want you fall in the trap I fall in. When my friend did to buy a house, me spend 1 whole year and look for a house. What I couldn't afford. And still end up a Spanish town. And it's a lucky thing me to come off of my high horses. And thing there. And just said, Claudia, Spanish town, here I come.
This day is Claudia looking for a half-acre flat land with a sea view on the north coast. Do you know of any?
Sea view land is on the hills of Draxal, but we don't have none need. Who else have sea? Oh yes, some coming up. Some coming up. I have some. I want to jinx myself, but I think I get in a development. So look out for you guys. It's gonna be a land development. And those of you
with sea view.
Yeah, so maybe you need to set up a jot farm.
They're half acres or a quarter acres?
They're quarter.
Quarter acres.
So Tony, when you set up a jot farm, those of you looking land with sea view, fill out the jot form so that we can get to you as soon as we bust it. Soon as we bust it, we'll see it.
Michelle said, "Me need to come off my high horse."
Yeah, come off your high horse.
Michelle just need to start.
Start.
Here's the thing.
I'm gonna tell you,
the good thing about owning the property, you can always sell it if you don't really like it.
Yeah.
But you have to own something for you to be able to sell it.
Yeah, and you have to make the inflation carry you. Yeah. So remember your mortgage fixing up. When me to get my mortgage, it was most about 1,500. It was fixed for 12 years. I never pay more than 1,500 for 12 years. But your rent go.
Yes, there are apartments available at Tealy.
What's up if you want one? So your rent will keep moving.
Yeah.
But that's why you can buy property every 5 years, because your mortgage at the same, you literally just shut down your living expense. Because remember, mortgage and rent are your biggest expense. So if every time you get a little pay increase, the landlord will raise your rent. So you're not gonna see a way.
Yes, you can sell it before you pay it off.
Yes, you can. I sold that mine after 12 years. I'm never done pay the mortgage.
A lot of people sell their properties before they finish.
Yeah, you do. You sell it before you finish pay it off. We've sold our properties that way. We don't pay off. When you sell, the lawyer will send the money to the bank that you owe them and give you the rest of the money.
Right.
Right? So guys, listen, I preach it. I can't preach it no more. Those of you still sitting around waiting about rubbish. If you reach 30, you're already behind the 8 ball. Can I tell you that? If you're 30 listening to me right now, you don't buy the first house yet, the ship sail gonna leave you. You have to catch the next boat that comes. It's not a ship coming for you.
But you know what? I don't understand why people don't buy properties. When you get to retirement age, where are you going to live?
Yeah, where?
Where are you going to live?
Where? You're gonna catch with your grown kids? What is it? Where you plan to live? You're going to the Eden, what we call them at Jamaica? Golden time home? Eden time home?
Yeah, but even so, if you're going to live in a golden time home, at least if you have the property collecting some income, you have some extra income to add to the pension.
And I can tell you, if you get to even my age, and you don't have no property, them not even give you one glass of water. They must say, Mom, you've wasted your time. Mom, I have my own life to live. Mom, I don't want to hear anything from you.
Where am I going to put you?
Yeah, where am I supposed to be putting you now? You wasted your time with so and so, and people remember say you have to pay school fee and this and that.
Exactly.
So
kids are the most forgetful and ungrateful bunch.
Are they?
Yes,
saying
they are.
Saying a child right here. Saying a child right here. When you get your kids, let's hope they get them now the same thing. So
I'm glad. I hope I have children to be able to even say that.
Yeah, you know. So you have to. Michelle says what?
Michelle's 38. Michelle, you need to buy your house. Get your name on a typing before the year ends.
Michelle don't buy it. But Michelle, how long have you been listening to me? How long have we been on YouTube? Michelle, I'm sure you have been listening to me before January. That means you should have get a key in your hand. Mm-hmm. Michelle, a friend of mine began drilling. What? Drilling by the house in my head. Only this year, and I began to take it seriously. But Michelle, why have you looked at properties?
No.
I think Michelle contacted. Michelle, you contact me about Belly Acres. Why are you not buying a Belly Acre? What's the challenge? My uncle was renting all his life, 40 years in the same house for cheap. When it was time for him to retire, the owner was ready to sell, but he couldn't afford to buy it. See? Here you go. Oh, you listen for about a month now, Michelle. But 1 month is too long. You still should have buy now, scope out a property and be ready to put on a deposit on it. Worse, you say you're 38. You're behind 1 house you're going to buy, Michelle. Mm-hmm. When you're younger, and Michelle, I don't want you to make the same mistake with your children, if you have children, right? When you have children, so by the time those kids are 18 or even 20, them have the National Housing Trust ready, you pull out every stop for them buy a property. All right? Is the better one. The irrevocable trust is the better one. Okay. Irrevocable trust, but it also must be a living trust. That way you have control now, not when you're dead. So you want a living trust, everybody. That way you now act as a trustee and you can determine what happens and you appoint other people. Like me, I'll appoint some of my older friends to help me with it.
Michelle said should have it by the end of December.
Should have what? The house. Yeah. But how are you going to get it by the end of December if you haven't found it yet? And deposited it.
Somebody's asking what's the price range for half acres on the North Coast? You're looking at
with Sea View
million up.
Now with Sea View, you're talking about 100,000 up. Yeah. And the US is at 155, I think. So you're looking at 15.5 million up. No.
The ones in Draxall Estates are selling for 18 and 20
minutes.
Depending on where in the scheme it is.
And Hills of Draxall are anywhere from 99,000 up to 175,000. But we're sold out on that now.
We do have resales in there's another community, Vista Del Mar.
But some of them not on the Sea View.
No.
They want Sea View.
Oh, it has to be a Sea View.
Have to be Sea View. Okay. I'm getting a development with some Sea View. Soon boss it for owner, guys. Soon boss it. Just Tony, I go set up a job. You can set it up afterwards, right? And put it on here. She can put on a job form here so that you can, those of you who want. The deposit is by December. Michelle, what kind of deposit? You get 100% financing. So who you talking about? Guys, stop talking about deposit.
What you waiting on? Christmas bonus?
What you waiting on? Leon Robinson. You can't listen. Michelle, every house you see now, we started Beleka at 10.5. Them now at 11.5. Anything you see now, by December, the price raise.
Yeah, so you should have had your name on something and lock in the price.
Lock in the price. 100% financing is being offered by the Jamaica National. So you shouldn't be talking about saving
for deposit.
Right. Right? Deposit are old, save for deposit are old school. You think every property we buy, we put on deposit on it. That's our old school. How you gonna buy house every 5 years if you save for deposit, Michelle? You know, hear me come on the thing and say, Tony and Rachel are gonna try to ring Jamaica National and forget 100% financing. We're not talking about no deposit.
Most of talking about is some closing costs for 200,000.
Yeah. Or some closing costs of 200,000, which them can't go beg anybody. I left daddy, them can't go beg that one. So, come on, guys. This is 2021. Ashton, Claudia, nice show, thanks. Ashton, no, Ashton, Matnisha. I know a Matnish at Fairview Park. Is that you, Matnish? No, me and him did run a wicked buckle collection and run a wicked sports day. Remember I told you?
No, I don't
Fairview
remember
Park.
that.
Oh, yeah, man. Fairview Park, man. Ashton, tell me for you that. Talk to you. Michelle.
Yes.
Yes, oh my God, Matnish, that are you from Fairview Park?
Is that the race where you fainted?
Yes, yeah. Ashton, me and a young man at the time we just moving a Fairview Park in the new house. Then we not on a fence and we not have nothing. And with them behind, we winter pen them behind we guys. That's the zinc fence. I tell you, we bust out, we go around and we collect buckle, Ashton, you remember? We go around and we collect buckle from the whole neighborhood. And we keep a wicked fun day.
Oh.
I remember it, a wicked fun day, and we kept a stage show. You try remember?
Why
it was a stage, like it was a fun day in the day. And we had a stage show in the night. Don't Ashton? Don't Matnish? Yes, and a stage show in the night.
Remember.
Remember?
But we don't have those again.
What?
Fun days. Community fun
day. We don't have it again.
This community is kind of dead.
Yeah, our community we're in now is kind of dead. When I was at Isle of Life, we had fun days. Yes, Matnish, you remember? Which part of the world are you still either Jamaica or you've gone foreign?
Foreign.
Michelle said she thought she needed to have a deposit. Michelle.
Yeah, but you should be listening to this show for 1 month. No? You should know you don't need a deposit.
Michelle, you probably you need some money.
It was a fashion show.
Yes, I need to remember. Oh my God, that was some fun times. Fun.
What was the money in aid of?
I don't remember. Just to have the show.
Okay.
Just to have the show.
They're overseas.
They're Daytona Beach. Thank God for YouTube Live. So we can link. So I'm a number. WhatsApp me 2926776. But Jamaica pick up if you ever say I'll Fairview Park now. Them fix all the road, Matnish. Pretty road. But we never get. No more flooding. I remember when it flood out. No more flooding. The place pretty. All island homes, them do more houses and them really do a good job. So you're going to text me? Yes, I need guidance. Michelle, you must talk to people who buy a house. That's what you must do. You want to buy a house and you want to learn to ride bicycle? You go sit down beside people who ride bicycle. If you want to learn to drive car, sit down beside people who drive car. Right, guys? Remember that? You want to learn something? You go to people who do it already. Don't sit down with people who don't do it.
Or who is in the business of doing it.
Yeah, or who is in the business.
When you learn to drive, they say you're a driving instructor or someone who has a car and already know how to drive.
That's what you
Same
do.
Concept. You want to buy a house, talk to people who sell houses for a living, or you talk to someone who owns a house already.
Right. And somebody like me will come on YouTube and tell you so much things, how to do it, how to maneuver yourself. You have to do it. Those of you with children too. So like I tell you, Tony and Rachel tell them no already. Because so listen, those of you with children, you use your children to help you build the wealth in your family, in your core family, right?
Oh, you don't tune in every time, that's why.
Oh, you're not listening every week. Right. So you must use the wealth. Use the resources what you have in your family. So one of the resources you have in your family is your very children that you bring. Your sons and your daughters. Right? You must have some kind of influence over them because them share your DNA. Come on, them share your DNA. Tony and Rachel share my DNA. You may have some influence. So you must.
That's not why you have influence over us. Not because you share DNA.
I have some influence because we share DNA and we share a house together.
That's not why you have influence over us.
Why I have influence?
Because you have sense and you have good ideas and you lead in us.
Okay.
That's why you have good influence over us. Not because we share DNA.
So if I never had that kind of leadership and guidance to give you, you wouldn't follow.
No, I share DNA with Dad, but I don't think he has that much control over me.
Yeah, because it was.
Yeah.
Because of leadership again.
Yeah.
All right. I got you, which is a very good point, guys. So you the parent should be the leader in your household. So you must lead. One of the things you have to do for your household is you must house them. You must secure somewhere for the household to live and thrive. You can't live and thrive in a rent house. I don't care what no one say. Who disagree with me? You're looking for something to mortgage in the orchard is there. Deborah, contact me by WhatsApp.
876.
Bye, McNish. Bye. Thanks for tuning in. You cannot thrive with your family with the constant thing over your head, both in our rentals.
What Michelle said, so the money I'm working on for the deposit, I can use it to pay off the car loan so I can afford more for the mortgage.
Michelle, maybe not. You don't probably need to pay off the car loan. But just come on the WhatsApp and contact me and let me see where you're at. Where you're at. Right? Let me see where you're at. You might not need to clear off the car loan and do all of them fancy stuff what you are talking about. The time to buy a house is now. The time to build a house is now. The time to invest in your future is now. People, remember, throughout the world what them fight for. Two things them fight for now. Woman and land. You want more than that?
Land more so.
Land more so, right?
Because women are replaceable.
Yeah. So what I tell you,
Richards made sure of that.
Divorce. With divorce. So what more you want to know? More than you must know, say the first thing you must do when you start family and you become an adult is to make sure that your family have somewhere to live and thrive. Mm-hmm. You can't live and thrive in a rentals. I don't care what I want to say. Right? Yeah. Sure, Miss Claudia, because my landlord I talk about raising rent. Of course. And that's why I bought my first house too, got a landlord raising rent. You know? So guys, you and your husband, no. Once somebody can buy a house, much less two only live in a house and can't buy a house. You have two income, you have two brains, you have two of everything. So how is it? Two people working in this country can't buy a house. Not Augusta.
They're not focusing.
Not Augusta.
And there's not much in life you need to focus on it.
There isn't.
You need to focus on a way to make money, focus on where you're gonna live, and focus how you're gonna take care of yourself for retirement. That is it.
That's not too much things to focus on.
That's the only thing you need
when
to focus on.
When you become an adult, two things you need to focus on. How you're gonna eat, in other words, how you're gonna sustain yourself.
Where you're gonna live.
And how you're gonna shelter yourself.
That's it.
That's it. If you cover them two things early in a life, like me, you know, I don't pay my mortgage earlier. I take a 15-year mortgage. By the 12th year, I was selling the property. Only owed 70,000 on it, which I paid cash. Then I pay off for those before I sell it. I figured that out already, how to feed myself and how to shelter myself. I never need to go do nothing else. So I could actually sit down right now in the same house without paying a mortgage and be quite happy.
True.
I have too much ambition.
So two things in life.
Two things.
How you're gonna feed yourself, how you're gonna shelter.
How you're gonna shelter.
And the sheltering is not rent.
No. That's not a long term.
That's not a long-term solution.
Rent is a short-term solution, everybody. Those of you renting over 2-3 years, you're so wasting time.
Even says sell the car, take the bus.
She might not have to sell the car.
Yeah, or she might need a car for work.
Yeah, she might not. I just have to look at her.
Or you can downsize the type of car. Because I see some young people have some really expensive cars.
Yes. I'm like, what them driving? When my first car was a 1970 VW, about pay $50,000 feet. I'm just sitting there, I pull up beside me
on the Civic 2019 on the Civic.
Yeah,
it's finished.
I'm like, them young people, you must have clocked some serious dollars.
And they don't own a house.
And they don't own a property.
This should be the first expense.
It should be the first thing that you buy. Straight out of school. You're going to buy that, right? Because you have no control over that property. Agreed. You can't strive in a rental. The richest man in Babylon said the man must make sure his wife them own the property where them live because the wife can plant her little garden, plant her little food to eat. I remember how long this book I write.
Herb garden.
Yes, and she can raise her children in peace without having, you understand? And the richest man in Babylon say, I must look for the paragraph I read it to the next week. And say that you must make your dwelling a profitable place by what it means is that you must replace the rent with the little bit of money we have to pay every month to the bank. All right. At 20 years old, I got my first initial house. It's now a 4-bedroom apartment, rented out. Excellent. I'm now 36 and just purchased a second home. It feels good, Miss Claudia. Thank you. But if you did have me, you buy that. Oh, you buy a next house long before you reach 36.
Yeah, you
buy a house at 20. You buy one at 25, one at 30, 36. You then buy a fourth house now. If you did have me. If you had me. My kids them have me, so them can't do it. Cypra, downsize, lot. It's a 2015 note. I can't downsize. I used to drive a 20 or
2015 though. Same thing. I wonder if it's your car she buy.
no, it's not a 2015. I drive a 2012. What the car name?
09. 09 no?
08.
08 no.
Yeah, I used to drive a 2008 note. I drive a 2012
Bits.
Toyota Vitz now. Do I pay the lawyer who then passes the fees to the contractor when trying to bill from overseas?
What do you mean you can't drive anything less than a note? You can drive a mirror.
You can drive a
which
mirror.
Is half the cost of a note.
Yeah, which is half the cost, 500,000. 550,000. Probably reason with the US dollar going through the roof.
Oh, maybe.
They can't drive a 1970 VW book.
No, that might be too much trouble for this modern time.
Yeah, but that note that you're driving, I can tell you, don't keep it over 100,000 kilometers. Guys, no car at all. Mm-hmm. This car we're driving now reached 97,000. I'm going to change it. So don't keep your car over 100,000 kilometers. After that, it becomes a liability. A serious liability. All right. Worse, you're paying loan on it. Don't do it. Sell it and move on. Is their national giving 100% financing to overseas? No, I think they're giving 95% to overseas residents. But the 6.5 interest rate that you can get. All right, that you can get. Thank you, Tamika, for taking notes. I hope you buy your house. And thanks to that person who said they bought the house at 20. Because you don't think me that joke when I tell you so they can buy a house at 20. It is possible. You just have to focus on it. All right, and it's not no windfall and all these things. My kids had me, so I'm kind of that help. But you just have to focus on it and make it be a priority to shelter yourself when you start working, right? And you can remember too, if you come and see, well, my kids still live at home, so them come and see, like Tony and Rachel come and see me about house already. But with Tony and I was living in a rent house. But we actually moved into a house.
Rent house, you mean rent room?
Rent room.
House would be a privilege.
So I rented this one room. Share kitchen, share bathroom. Yes, Tony, and remind me. One room.
Rent house.
Yeah. So you can live with your parents still enough and buy your property. Mm-hmm. Remember, don't burn out your money on party and all these things. So you live with your parents, back up your money, say, Mama, may I save some money for your deposit? And you still help Mama pay the light and the water and the food and this. And you back up your money and Mama follow you and you look for property and you put all your money and you can rent out the house and you still not have to leave, move Mama, you know. You don't have to leave, you don't have to move out, leave Mama. You can still live with Mama and buy your property, you rent it out and you step from there, right? So that's what we're gonna have to close the show now. We still have a big audience.
I pay contractor to be safe when trying to bill from overseas?
Why just have to trust a contractor? My clients pay me direct.
Somebody suggesting that they pay a lawyer first.
So how does it keep you safe?
Like
the lawyer still can't go with the money. Or the lawyer get the contract and contractor go with the money. It's a matter of trust.
Yeah. You have to hire a reputable.
You have to hire reputable people, and you have to make sure the person is reputable, quite frankly.
Yeah.
We'll go by quantity surveyor too. So you get a QS estimate as to how much it's going to cost. And you pay the QS is a person who looks at it and say, yes, this is what them reach, and yes, this is the money that must pay out. So you use a quantity surveyor to back you up on what you're paying out. That's key with this thing. Don't just rely. So like me, I'm billing for you. There's always a quantity surveyor who does the estimates and that's for billing from scratch. If we're doing a renovation though, I'll usually give you the estimate myself, and I'll give you the reports plus your bills and all of that too. To show where I'm at. You get the pictures, you get the videos, you get everything. So you know, you send your family and everybody to check where it is at. I'm kind of slowed down on taking any more projects because I have too much projects and I'm doing too many things, guys. So So I'm kind of slowed down. Plus, I want to go into retirement. It's another thing. I really want to go into retirement. So I'm trying to step back.
Had 3.8 million and wanted a house. Miss Davis' advice was buy land. Bought cash in Plantation Heights in 2017. Thank you, Miss Claudia. I am smiling now.
Yeah. Yo, you buy the land, so you're ready to start building.
Good.
So start building. Remember to and listen, don't draw a house bigger than the pocket or you have to put it up. So not because the land may be big, you're gonna make the draftsman draw a 5,000 square foot house and a 6,000 square foot house. You just a house you want to live in and just stick with a little 3-bed, 2-bed. Stick with where your pocket can manage, right?
John Marcus says, hi, Miss Claudia. I would like to own a house. My monthly income is $150 per month.
You earn enough money, man, John.
Yeah, you should be able to get a mortgage.
Yeah, John. You can get a mortgage up to 75,000 mortgage. You can buy a Jamaica to John. Where you want a house, actually?
Yeah.
And do you have NHT?
The name sounds familiar. I think I helped sign him up for NHT.
You did?
If that is the same John Marcus that I have. Yeah.
So he's qualified now?
No, it's not a year yet.
John, are you the same John Marcus? Is it a year? Not wait for NHT, do you know?
No, but I think he's young, so he can wait on NHT and get the loan first rate.
You not wait. Remember, you can sign up for phase 2 by later. By the time NHT come through, I'm ready.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And guys, I have signed up persons. They're not quite ready with the qualification. But remember, we're doing a subdivision. It's going to take us about a year to complete, right? So you have time. I will work with them. Some people even pay down till them get to them full deposit. We are about putting a key in your hand. That is what we want. We're not even sales reps. Not even that. My motto and interest is to put a key in your hand. That's all. And this year,
we need to really get Jamaicans in a home ownership position.
Yes,
More Jamaicans.
I know the joy
that can benefit you and your family and also the country when more Jamaicans own Jamaica.
Yeah, that's the key. I know the joy I feel when I get a key in my hand. I say, yes, Claudia.
When last you get a key?
I jump for joy. So get a key, man. Almost every year, I hold a key in my hand.
Last year, I was one land. You don't get the key.
You stop my land now. When I get the land, I'm going to jump up and down on it and say, yes. Remember that commercial?
That was
Herbal essence.
Well, washing your hair.
Yeah, because I said, beat the odds again. That's a joke with me now. Even though I've beaten the odds already by purchasing or whatever and purchase more than I want to. Every time it is still a joy for me. So I don't get any kick out of going to hotel for vacation and them things that were on the love do with the money. Me not getting a kick out of that, to be honest, guys. I really don't. I get a kick out of buy one little piece of land, go up on it, sit down with my lemonade and say, yes, one more down, 20 more to go. That's what I get a kick out of, right? I said, yes, I did it. Yes, John, I did it. That's what I get a kick out of, right? So when I'm walking on the road, guys, gentlemen, and you're calling to me and you're trying to talk me up, but listen, the only way you get my attention
is come and look at a piece of land.
Say, come, Claudia, you go look at a piece of land. That's the only way you're going to don't invite me to the dinner. You know, move past base one with me. You might move past base with Tony, but not with me.
What's Jamaicans' median income? I have no idea.
John, if you wait 1 year, you need to call back Tony and John. If you're the John Marcus.
Yeah, he is.
He is. John, call back Tony and so that you can see how far you reach.
But he should know how far he is because he knows when he signed up.
He knows when he signed up. And don't miss the payment. Remember, with NHT, if you miss the payment, you have to go 3 more months if you miss the payment. Or sometimes 6 months, you have to go wait again. So don't miss the payment. As a matter of fact, John,
I think
if you have the money,
I gave him was just paid.
Yeah, pay up the full thing. All right. So persons who we signed up year before, there are people that get them house. You remember Tony who signed up and them ready, and them say, come Miss D, we qualify now, 1 year. Boom. We just get them through the system, find place for them, and then have them house. Right. Hi Denise, yes, thank you for saying that I'm a great real estate agent. Yeah, Denise, for me it's not about the selling. When for me personally, people will set quotas. Oh, I make 10 million real estate, I make 5 million, not me. Me not set them quota there. The only thing me want to know is me put 100 key in a 100 people hand.
I know, we met that target was pretty good.
Yeah, when we set that target, we were saying, damn, the targets are high. We will go find 100 people for my house.
And then the pandemic came.
And then the pandemic came, and then, hold on, it's not hard. We broke over that target. I told you I was at the target next year. 500, you want to broke it to 500 next year. Guys, you have to buy.
I know, like saying put 100 persons in a house, and then when you realize Jamaica is 65 lots, the target is not that hard.
Yeah, it's not that hard. No, it's only because we already. And listen, all right, so we are able to put 100 persons in a house now. But in 2008, I only sold one property. So I only gave one person a key.
Yeah.
The following year, I only sold 4. So I only gave 4 persons a key. But we have built and built and built and built and honed our skills. That's the thing. And the richest man in Babylon said, you can't stop dig. No, I was saying about that. Think and grow rich. You stop 3 feet from goal. 3 feet from goal because you give up too early.
Yeah.
Yeah? You give up too early. Right? Do not start a journey. And the first time you buck your toe, you go to the NHT lady and she give you a bag of rubbish.
And they're going to.
Yeah. Like this house I'm in now. When I went to First Caribbean first, oh my terrible box, I can't afford it.
Oh, she know that.
When no, she look for piece was I can't afford it. And I was coming out. And this man named Winston Lindo, he was branch manager at the time, he intercept me coming out, see my face, see how me pissed off. And he said, come in my office, man. May I tell you, 2 times somebody said that to me. Richard Graham was the first one who helped me purchase my first house. And Winston Lindo, he's retired now.
Yeah.
He said, come in my house, come in my office. I'm going to the man's office, and the man scheduled the loan for 25 years. That's how I was able to qualify.
Wow. So what was it before?
I don't know what she did that though. I don't know what that woman was doing. She just must have just looked at me and never liked me. I said to her, oh, you're coming on here.
Not already what else.
You know? I wanted to build. So he gave me a construction loan, and since I'm First Caribbean, they have given me 3 loans to build. 3 loans to build.
But you know what I realized?
Can you imagine?
It's who you meet on the day that makes the difference.
It makes a difference, guys. So listen to me. When you put your foot forward for this real estate thing, you have to buy a place. And you buck your foot one time, you buck up some crony was disgust the daylight out and tell you a bag of rubbish. You just say, no, man. You remember what Miss Davis said? She said that I just want like an obstacle course.
You keep going until you get
keep going until you reach your goal. Your goal is to get a key in your hand. You own a key. Push your own a key. You don't make nobody put an obstacle course in front of you, you can't jump that. You jump it, you go around it, you go under it, you move it out of your way. That is what you do.
Somebody wants to explain JN 100%.
100%, Brittany, means, so we're selling Bel Acres for 11.5 million. JN will pay the Bel Acre developer 11.5 million for the house.
Once you qualify
qualify for the mortgage.
Right.
Where's the loan amortization? Once you qualify for the mortgage. So you don't have to pay a deposit. However, I keep my mortgage contact to send me the monies, if any. I think there are some fees that you would need to pay Jamaica National.
The money to get the loan, right?
The money to get the loan.
Right.
And there's also a closing cost for the Bel Acre. So we just looked at it, and that closing cost is how much? A little under 200,000. So you probably need to have that. And some monies that you need to pay Jane. But Jane is paying the 11.5 for the house. Right. Oh, sorry, everybody.
No, you can use it to buy any property as long as you qualify. It doesn't have to be Bel Acre. We're just using that as an example.
Yeah. As long as you qualify. Sorry, Tony. It's down. Rachel? All right, what's else? Sorry, everybody.
What's the minimum salary to get a Bel Acre?
Work that out. Jump into the loan amortization. Well, the minimum salary, if you don't have NHT, let's see.
Use a JN loan calculator.
Use a JN loan calculator. Although sometimes it's non-functioning.
Let's see if it works tonight.
Well, I started sneezing. The temperature dropped. It's now night.
Yeah, temperature dropped outside. Or maybe the cat passed. When he passes,
I sneeze. And I don't own any cats. These cats are nuisance. All right, let's use Jane's mortgage calculator. So the home price is 11.5 million. You're sneezing too.
He's probably outside.
Probably outside. Not this. Oh.
Bless you.
Start sneezing. I'm most of the cat it up.
Probably him.
All right, so your down payment is 0. How old are you? Who asked the question? Oh, Michelle Moody, minimum salary NHT. I don't understand. Is she answer the question?
No.
Yes, they use NHT when offering it. So apply NHT. All right, so if you don't have NHT, 77,000. So somebody like
you need to earn twice that.
So you need to earn twice this, which is 150.
But this is a 25-year mortgage.
All right, but
maybe you're young.
Maybe you're young, like you can get a 40-year. If you get a 40-year, you pay 67,000. 70, so you earn 140,000. You're good. So like that person came on Marcus. So Marcus can get this loan and he would pay 67,000. Let's call it 70,000 because remember the house is going to be insured.
I think he's
going to add insurance to that.
I think he's in Claudia.
He's in Trelawney. Oh,
probably can buy Edmond Ridge.
Can buy Edmond Ridge, man. Edmond Ridge is what, 12.5?
Yeah, around that.
Yeah, Marcos, you could have bought Edmond Ridge. You could buy one of the townhouses cheaper.
Is it?
In Edmond Ridge? Sure.
But they have an apartment still.
All right, so if you apply NHT, put 6.5 here. Put 6.5 here. Rachel, the cat just passed. We're sneezing like crazy. I don't think it's working enough. This is some interest rate. I don't think NHT interest rate more than about 2%. That one. All right.
Wow, you just need 100,000.
So you just need 100 to be earning 100,000. If you're earning 100,000, you can get these loans. So it's 11.5, 100% financing. Your down payment 0. Your interest rate 6.5 from Jamaica National. You're paying back over a 40-year period. Plus you're getting an NHT loan. Let us move this interest rate to 6%. Let us say them in the high financial bracket. Those of you earning more than...
Would they get 40 years though?
Then we'll probably get the 40 years. Yeah, remember your income determined if you get the 6%, you know. Okay. No, that is why I wanted to buy a house early. Tony and Rachel interest rate was like 2%. If you buy late in life, your interest rate is higher. Because them say you pay higher. So if you're young, like Marcus, you might get a 2% loan. You pay 48,000. All right, let us see if this is a 30-year. With the 30-year. And everybody, this is a Jamaica National calculator we're on, so you can go on it and play around with it. You're going to pay 55,000 per month. Now see, it's not difficult. If you're earning 110,000
with no other loans,
you qualify for this. Let us say not getting an HT, go on the 100%, 6.5, 30-year, you must be earning 150,000, or you join with somebody. Mm-hmm. So like Tony and Rachel can join. Or you or your brother, or you or your spouse, or whatever can join. So Michelle, who said that wanted to buy? Was it Michelle? So your salary must be 2 times the mortgage amount. Yes. Because the debt service ratio is 50%. So yes. But if you have a car loan, Michelle, so listen now. Wait, don't move it yet. Go back to the calculator. So Michelle, you said you have a car loan. So this is what you would qualify for. No, Michelle is 38, she says.
Yeah.
70 minus 38 is how much?
38 or 36.
38 or 36. 38 or 36.
Let's do it at 36. 34 years.
34. Put 34 there. So Michelle, you have an HT? All right. You don't have an HT. The payment is 70,000. But if you have a car loan of 40,000, then we're gonna take out the 40,000 outside.
She says NHT highest interest rate is 4%. Nice.
Is this Michelle?
No, that's Unique telling us that NHT's highest interest rate
is 4% now. All right.
That's even better.
I assume Michelle have interest. 4%. Put 4 here of NHT. Sure. So I pay 59,000 with your mortgage on 34 years. So you have to be earning twice this, which is 120,000. But again, if you have a car loan, you're only going to be able to afford a mortgage of 20. If you have a car loan for 40,000, only a mortgage, an amount that will give you a payback of 19,000 will you be able to afford. Understand? Because you have used up part of the qualifying. What they're saying is that 50% of your income is to pay debt. Joint financing, Brittany, send me a WhatsApp and I'll send you the mortgage officer info. Send me a WhatsApp. Send me a WhatsApp, Brittany. And just remind me. NHT, Jamaica National giving you 100%. You don't need to save up all of that money that you think that you need to save up. I remember too. Oh, another thing I forgot to mention. When you go and buy a property every 5 years, you buy the first property. You buy the first property and you pay a mortgage. And you're getting pay increase, pay raise because you are improving yourself and your skills. And then 5 years come, you're looking at another property. Chances are you're going to rent the property that you were in before and move to this new property, or you're going to rent new property. So you can use a rental income as an income to the bank to show. So by the time you get to the fourth property, you have the rental income to show the bank that, hey, I have rental income. So the bank also uses that as an income to show that you can afford the mortgage. All right? Okay. All right. Finished? All right. So everybody, I think we're almost at 7 o'clock. Wow. That means we're not having a YouTube live next week.
2 for 1 today.
2 for 1 today. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. Those of you who still don't understand something or you want to WhatsApp me about a property or anything, you can do that now. I don't promise you I'll answer you now because I'm kind of tired with my shoulder and everything. Plus I started sneezing. I don't know why. But we will we'll definitely answer them tomorrow. All right? Tony?
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.